Guys, what up? It's the kid, 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 it's the kid. We are back, we're back, we're back, hopefully for another entertaining, beautiful, lovely, and quite exciting bonanza, man. So let's just tell you how the show is going to go, because we have some good topics, and I think some topics which we have to say, we have some home truths. Some home truths need to be said. So the Premier League season has started. And the La Liga season has sort of started, but Real Madrid and Barcelona play next week. The Oos! We're going to talk about the Oos. So these are the topics we have for today. And maybe if we have time, we'll take some questions from you, absolute losers, in the live chat. So the first thing we're going to talk about Aubameyang. We're going to talk about Aubameyang, and we're going to talk about how clinical is he, how good of a striker is he, and where does he rank in terms of the top strikers out there. Then we're gonna roll into I need to even think Salah. I'm gonna talk about Salah, as in, are we underrating Salah's goal scoring prowess, and where should Salah truthfully rank with regards to a goal scorer? And what do you think Salah is going to do this season for Liverpool? And do we give Salah enough credit for what he does as a goal scorer? As a football player, he's average. But as a goal scorer, do we give him enough credit? And then we're going to look at La Liga. Ronald Koeman's side, Barcelona, the Oos, Real Madrid, Zizou, Vinicius. Are Barcelona screwed? Are they effed? Or do we think that we're actually going to have one of the most fascinating title races that we've seen? Are Real Madrid going to completely dominate? Let us talk about the title race and the tit for tat, the back and forth. So, guys, this is, of course, the Saturday Hangouts where, crazy things will be said. And, guys, a Brick Academy, we will be introducing a ranking system and a Brick Academy for users. So, because I think some people need to be rewarded, some people need to be punished. So, and I think the best thing to do is that we need some people up in that academy. And also we need to reward people up in those rankings as well, because I think some things people have said, you know what, no. We need to actually induct some people, and they need to now know they've been inducted, and they know that they have to now do things in order for them to leave that academy. So, guys, let's first start with our first topic of the day, which, of course, is your boy Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. So I put out a tweet. And this was my tweet. And let me just first say what my tweet was, and let me just give you my thinking, and then we're going to roll in with everyone. I said, Aubameyang is world-class. Then I said he's easily one of the best finishers in the world. Then I went in and said, you know what? In times of a clinical finisher, chances to goals ratio, degree of difficulty, I believe he's a better finisher than Lewandowski. And why do I say this? I am a huge fan of Lewandowski, and I still believe Lewandowski as a footballer as a whole overall is better than Aubameyang. Who does Aubameyang play with? Saka, Xhaka, Willock, Eddie Nketiah, and some other dudes that no one knows about. Oh yeah, the Ivorian chef called Pepe. Who does Lewandowski play with? Can I give you a Kingsley Coman? Can I give you a Gnabry? Can I give you a Thomas Muller? Can I give you a Goretzka? Can I give you a Perisic? These are far better footballers and players and playmakers and creators than what Arsenal have. So Lewandowski is in one of the best teams in the world that dominates most games that they play. Therefore, he is most likely going to be given not only more chances, but better chances. Aubameyang has to feed off scraps. Because some of the finishes that Aubameyang has done is like, how the hell did he finish that? Because he knows that, bro, I ain't going to get 3,000 chances because we just don't have the kind of team and the kind of quality. Lord only knows what Aubameyang could do if he was at Bayern Munich. So that is how we roll in there. I would say that he there is an argument, a very strong argument to put him as the most clinical, not the best player, not the best overall, but in 2020 right now, the most clinical finisher based on what is around him that there's out there. And also remember as well, because people say, oh, what about Immobile? What about all those dudes? What about Vardy and Ings? Aubameyang has consistently been a high-tier, high-volume goal scorer for the past 4, 5, 6 seasons. As soon as he hit his stride for Dortmund, he has been hitting those strides game after game, year after year after year. So don't give me on that. So, Wilton, man, let's hear it from you, man. How do you rate Mr. Aubameyang then?
Aubameyang is definitely one of the best striker in the Premier League for sure. But let's double it back a notch. I'm not gonna put him in the same category as Lewandowski. That's ridiculous. And the
Why not?
other,
Why? Oh, okay, but explain why not?
because
As a finisher, why not?
as a finisher, yeah, but when you were talking about clinical, was it this year where he missed that open goal in the Europa League and got Arsenal out of the Europa League? Because you got to score that. I'm
Bro,
sorry. You got to score that
chance,
goal.
one chance.
Just like Raheem Sterling. We say Raheem Sterling is world class and he missed that goal. Then and it cost Manchester City the game. You got to score that if you're Aubameyang. Because I know if that was Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi that missed that goal, you would have a party. You'd have been having a party right now. So Aubameyang, you got to score that goal. I know he scored some key goal against in the FA Cup against Manchester City. He showed up. He got a brace against them. But I'm not gonna put him. Just because you're in a good team, that doesn't mean you're gonna start dominating. Because you said Lewandowski's on a good team, that's why he's doing all that. Just you don't know. Every system is not every player is able to adapt into
Okay.
a bunch
Wilson,
of
let me
different
ask you this then.
systems.
Wait, let me ask you this. If the roles were switched, does Lewandowski score as many as Aubameyang in this Arsenal team?
That's the thing. Seeing it is, I believe he does because he just have that natural goal instinct. He did it for Borussia Dortmund. He did it at Dortmund. So I
No,
just
okay, Wilson, let's be real and let's be honest. Are you telling me that Dortmund's side was weaker than this Arsenal side?
no, obviously not. Obviously not. But like I said, seeing it is believing it. Just like how people say if Messi doesn't go to a different team, he wouldn't dominate. It just like that, the way you're saying it. Because Lewandowski plays for this team. If he goes to Arsenal, he's not going to score a lot of goals. I don't know. Seeing it is believing it. Yeah, he's a clinical finisher, but I'm sorry, that Europa League. Every time you say it's clinical, that goal you gotta finish that goal, man. I'm sorry. It just goes back to my mind. Like you gotta score that goal because
Okay. Jamal, where do you rate Mr. Aubameyang as a finisher? Remember, just as a pure finisher.
As a finisher, he's top 10 strikers right now. I will still put Aguero above him. I'll still put Lewandowski, Benzema. I will even put Erling Haaland above Aubameyang.
Oh, Jamal, are you smoking crack?
Yes,
Erling
right?
Vardy as
Haaland,
well. Vardy
that
as well.
Yes.
is
Vardy
the
as well.
hipster. That is the hipster's choice.
Jamie
Erling
Vardy.
Haaland?
Nah,
The,
not Vardy.
the James
Easy,
Bond,
easy on Vardy. But
Jamal,
Erling
you're
Haaland,
putting a James Bond villain ahead of Aubameyang. Really?
you didn't say how he looks. You say as a striker, and as a striker, Erling Haaland is a better striker than Aubameyang. Um, I think this is hype on Aubameyang. I know he did good and win them the FA Cup, and he also win them the Communion Shield last week. But I mean, he's limited as a footballer. That's the first thing. He's not a great footballer, and as a goal scorer, I still give him top 10 strikers in the world. But I think that's about it.
What? So for you, for you in 2020, Aubameyang isn't top five.
No,
Wow.
you want me to give
Okay.
a top five? Okay.
Okay. Quickly, give me your top five right now. Just
All right.
not of all time in 2020 today, right now. Top five right now to today.
All right. Benzema, Lewandowski, Aguero, and I know he's 40. Oh, reaching 40, but CR7 is still a better goal scorer than Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Yes, yes, this is goal
He's a
scoring
wing.
alone. Ronaldo is a better goal scorer than Aubameyang.
He is.
He
He
is.
is.
Fuck.
He
He is.
is.
Yeah.
This dude really said Christina, man. Wow. All right, okay,
That's my top five.
fair enough. You know, I mean, I have nothing against Christina's. All right, BD call. Aubameyang, talk to me. Where does Aubameyang rank BD call?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
BD call. Everyone can hear you. Just
Okay.
talk, or else I'll just throw you out again. Man.
Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna say this. Aubameyang was playing with two Dortmund sides, the one in 17-18 and the one in 16-17. He played the 16-17 one, he was playing around good players. The 17-18 one, they had a good team, but they didn't have a good structure. So what I mean is, he's a good striker. Actually, not even a good striker, but he's a good player in terms of like um winger slash striker per se. But he plays a bit like Leao from AC Milan. Leao is a winger slash a striker, and I think that's what Aubameyang is. Is he's not really a natural striker. He's more of like he can drift into play wing, can play striking.
No,
Um,
so Bidiko, where do you rank him as a finisher in the world? Where do you rank Aubameyang right now, just as a
mhm.
finisher in the world?
To be honest, I think he's one of Dortmund's best strikers ever. To be honest, alongside
That's
Erling
not the
Haaland.
question, bro. That's not the question.
No, no,
Bidiko,
I'm
that's not the
ranking
effing question. The question
that.
didn't say about how
Mhm.
good he is for Dortmund. So I'll ask the question one last time.
Yeah.
How do you rank Aubameyang right now in 2020 as one of the best,
Mhm.
as a finisher? Where would you rank him right now in the world today?
I think he's better than Aguero. I think he's better than Harry Kane. I'm gonna say he's probably number one. He's probably the best winger slash striker in the Premier League right now.
No, no,
Because
no, I said no, in the world, in the
oh
world.
in the world,
Yeah.
in the world, nah, I'm gonna give him top 10. If you're talking about in the world top 10, I'm sorry, man. But if you're talking about Premier League, he's number one. Because Aguero and all these other guys, Harry Kane, these guys are trash, yo. Like I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah.
Okay. What's it called? Eye test. Aubameyang. Where does he rank? As remember, the question is just as a finisher, not as a footballer and everything.
Yes.
Just purely the art of putting the ball inside the net.
So in terms of finishing, he's number one for me. I would put him above Lewandowski because he's proven it in the Premier League, and he's done it in the Bundesliga, and he's doing it with Arsenal with Granit Xhaka and El Neni behind him. So for me, he's a better goal scorer. And correct me if I'm wrong. I think he's also got the most goals in the Premier League ever since he's joined the Premier League. So in my opinion, as of 2020, he's the best goal scorer in the world. 2 goals against Manchester City in the semi-finals of the FA Cup, a goal in the FA Cup final against Chelsea. And I remember earlier on someone was speaking about that open goal miss he missed in the Europa League. I think it was Vilton. But if you watch that game, he scored 2 equalizers in that game. He scored a bicycle.
And
Where did-
missed
where
the
did-
easy chance.
where-
He
I think
missed
he
the
scored a
easy
bicycle
chance,
kick.
though.
Let him land. Let him land, man. Let him
He
land.
scored.
Where did
he
Arsenal
scored-
finish?
He scored like 2 equalizers in that game. He carried that team
And
in
missed
that
the
game.
tapping.
And
You missed the
then
tapping, though.
okay,
You
but
missed the tapping. So
he was outstanding that game. But for me, in terms of goal scoring, he's number one. But if we're talking in terms of striker overall, I don't even know if I'm gonna put him number 5 because Anthony Martial is a better striker than him overall. He has better hold up play, he has
Okay.
better link up play. But in terms of finishing, 100% Orba's number one.
Okay. Mr. Yasasai, thank you for the super chats. Who says, in my opinion, I think it's time we realize that the world has bias towards African players. Aubameyang is easily top 5. No. Yeah, no. What's it called? For me, as I said again, I don't know what anybody's smoking. I don't top 10. You're mad. If you're saying top 10, that's it. You're mad, man. You're completely mad. So, let's go to what's it called? I want to go to Erhan. Where would you rank Aubameyang?
I mean, there's a reason why they call him the Gabonese Jamie Vardy, right? Like, there's levels to this game. no, okay.
Jamie
I
Vardy
mean,
was top scorer last season. That's
yeah,
not an
I mean,
insult.
yeah, exactly. And to be fair, Aubameyang, who did he match? Danny Ings. So, if you had to rank them, Danny Ings is basically the same level.
Hey, Erhan, relax.
Okay,
Erhan,
okay,
relax.
okay. Let me stop
Relax.
trolling. Let me stop being a Tottenham troll. In seriousness, Aubameyang, he's evolved his game massively since joining Arsenal. I think, like, if you remember him at Dortmund, I remember in his early years, he was playing on the wing, but he was nowhere near this prolific. Like, I remember he would drift in and out of games. He wasn't as effective. Like, you could tell he was very pacey, but the clinical edge wasn't there. And like scoring from the wing, like he's actually, like, if you think about it, he's not like an out and out striker anymore because most of his goals are coming from like wing play. Like he's either cutting inside or like it's always like wide. Like he's always on the wide area, and I think that makes him more difficult to mark because obviously defenders are always wary of the overlap. When you're like a defender, obviously like a fullback, there's obviously two elements that you have to consider, like whether you let the attacker come inside or you let him pass to the overlapping fullback and get across. So it makes it really difficult in that sense. I think that's why he's flourishing so well in that role. Like the goal he scored against Arsenal in the Liverpool in the Community Shield, that prime example of that. He destroys young Nico Williams and gets in a great fabulous goal. And I can understand the comparisons with Lewandowski, but yeah, let's be honest, his goal volume isn't nowhere as good as Lewandowski. But I do think, having said that, he is more important to Arsenal than Lewandowski is to Bayern. I think if you took out Lewandowski of Bayern, I think the likes of Thomas Müller, Gnabry, all these guys, Perisic, they could still manage their way through the season. If you take out Aubameyang of the Arsenal team, they're finishing 17th. That's how integral he is to this team, I think.
Yep.
So in terms of and I think that's what he thrives in. He thrives in a small team like Arsenal, mid-table club where everything goes through him. Everyone's depending on him. The fans are literally begging him to sign a new contract, which I hope he doesn't. But yeah, I think he's literally in his perfect place to be.
So where would you then rank him amongst world strikers then in the world?
I would say
based purely just on the finishing. Based purely on finishing. I
would say he's probably third. For me, I think I call me crazy. I still back Harry Kane in a one-on-one. He might not be as a complete forward as Aubameyang is, but this guy is still deadly in front of goal. But obviously, you've got the likes of Lewandowski, the likes of Aguero. I don't want to put people like Haaland in there yet because he hasn't really done much. But yeah, I think the seasoned veterans, even I know he's past it now, but Suarez, if you remember his goal against Bayern, that's a quality G. Is Aubameyang scoring that?
So do you put him top 3? Do you put him top 5, top 7?
I think he just about sneaks into top 3 in terms of finishers. He's not in the top 3 strikers. I'll say that's more maybe 4th or 5th there. But yeah, listen, Arsenal, he's their best player. He's an amazing striker. Enjoy him while he lasts because he's probably going to leave next summer. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Stodge, talk to me. Aubameyang as a finisher, where does your rank?
Yes. Sorry. Aubameyang as a finisher, I rank him. Obviously, he's not above Lewandowski. When he scores, 5 goals in 9 minutes? Talk to me. Till then, don't mention this guy's name. But Aubameyang, yeah, like the guys were saying, he's probably just outside the top 5. He's a good finisher, but he lacks in many other areas. And I really think he's basically like an African Jamie Vardy. I was looking at all the numbers, crunching it up. I was looking at I analyzed this properly after you were hyping up on Twitter, and I said, let me analyze both these guys' games. And I realized they're basically an exact copy of each other. Aubameyang hasn't created more than 15 chances in the Premier League. Do you know how poor that is as an attacker? That just shows that all you can do is basically be at the end of stuff and finish. He can't create a single chance a game. That's lower than 1 chance per game. You know how poor that is? You talk about him not having service, but clearly he doesn't have the ability to create service for others as well. And that's why I put him solo. And in terms of being the most clinical striker last year with no contest was Danny Ings. His team scored 40 goals and the guy had 22 goals. Nobody's coming close to that. No attack.
And he had no penalties too. Yeah, he had no penalties
too. So nobody's coming. Aubameyang, he's a good player. He's like a pacey finisher. But I feel like Arsenal is his level. He's been on the market for 3 years. No top team wants him. They looked at him. They said, Jamie Vardy. It's similar to Jamie Vardy. People look at Jamie Vardy, they say, Leicester player. People look at Aubameyang, they say, yeah, that's his level.
Wait, that's a good point. How his contract? He only has 1 year left on his contract. And why have no big clubs come for Aubameyang? Why?
Barcelona wanted him. Barcelona wanted him.
Barcelona would rather spend.
Yeah, but if you look at those big clubs, though, how many of their forwards can be proud of? Suarez is good in 2020. Higuain is good at Juventus or something. Come on, it's not these.
They still don't want him.
Class nines.
Barca would rather spend 150 million on Lautaro Martinez than sign this guy for free. So that's his level. Arsenal is his level, and don't don't ever compare him to Lewandowski. Lewandowski is a Ballon d'Or winner. He can create chances. He's better at everything.
Okay,
He's better
Storch.
at goal scoring.
Storch, I will rephrase the question. Storch, the question was 100% Lewandowski is better all round. But the question is very specific, based purely on finishing, just purely on finishing.
Okay. So, but this is the problem with Aubameyang. This is why I can't judge him, because in 2020, I would say he's been the best finisher. But if you look at throughout his career, he's actually been the opposite type of player before then. He was a player, even Arsenal fans used to complain the season before that he would need a lot of chances to score a goal. It was only this season, this was the first time in his career that he became a clinical finisher. Before, he was he needed a lot of amount of chances to score a single goal. But I would give it to him, if you're talking about specifically this season, not throughout his career, this season, yeah, he's been a better finisher. But I have to look at throughout their careers, and Lewandowski is the better finisher if we're looking at the entirety of their careers. Otherwise, Danny Ings is number one, and that's not fair.
Okay, that's fair. Bayern Fan TV, I'm sure you have something specific to say, because we all know who you're going to rep for. But Bayern Fan TV, please tell us why you feel, and remember, Bayern Fan, you have to focus on the question. It's finishing. Purely finishing. Lewandowski all-round lubricates Aubameyang, but please tell me why you believe that Aubameyang isn't, right now in 2020, a better finisher than Lewandowski, who didn't score in a CL final.
All right. Simple. Lewandowski scored 4 goals against Real Madrid when he was 22.
Which
he scored against
3,000 years ago,
Barcelona.
but carry on.
Let me get a point across. He scored against Real Madrid. He scored against Barcelona. He scored against Juventus. He scored against top teams in the biggest stage of world football, the Champions League. Aubameyang in the Champions League, what has he done? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. In the it's good scoring goals in the Premier League where teams go out to attack, and they don't know how to defend. Good example was Liverpool today. Liverpool has probably the best defense in the Premier League, and they're not a defensive team, and they don't know how to defend properly. So it's easier for a striker like him to finish in the Premier League because he's pacey. He can run behind players. He's going to look very good. It's the same reason why Timo Werner will get a lot of goals this season as well. Now, you're talking about finishing here, just pure finishing. Let me ask you this. Is Robin a better finisher, or was Robin a better finisher than Lewandowski?
I mean, see, that's a tricky one. That's a tricky one because you're dealing with two different players. But if you now want to say at their very best, Robin, it was one of the coldest finishers the game has ever seen.
No, he can also create his chances too. He can create his own chances.
Nobody knows Robin better than me. I told you, I'm taking Robin over Messi. Nobody knows Robin better than me. I know Robin all of you guys. At his best, Robin was one of the coldest.
Oh my God!
5 goals in 9 minutes, Richard. 5 goals in 9 minutes.
The reason I brought that up, facts.
2010 final.
Casillas who doped is the reason why Robin is a Casillas, he cheated. You absolute cheat. If you didn't flip and cheat, Robin would be a horseman right now. You're absolute loser.
Robin just has pace and trickery than Lewandowski. That's about it.
He has one move.
So the reason why...
Look, this is my logic. Is you know how much of a fan of Lewandowski game? I'm a huge fan. My thing is this. Lewandowski doesn't score as many goals as Aubameyang has for this Arsenal side than Aubameyang has done. Because Lewandowski benefits from having much better players around him. Bayern Fan TV, do you know what Xhaka is? Saka, Willock, Nketiah, Bellerin? These are ground sellers. These are match.
I mean, I could say the same thing. Do you know who Sebastian Kehl is? Do you know who Kevin Grosskreutz is? All these players.
No. What's the question? The question.
Thank you so much.
As of right now, not 10 years ago, 7 years ago. As of right now, he is a more clinical finisher than Lewandowski.
Did you watch the goal Lewandowski scored against Spurs this season in the Champions League? Aubameyang is not scoring that goal. I'm sorry.
Wait. But this guy, he disrespected Liverpool. Why did Lewandowski fail to? Why didn't he score against Matip? I mean, not even Matip. Why didn't he score against Fabinho? You said Liverpool's defense is rubbish. He couldn't even get a goal against Fabinho.
No, I said they've got the best defense in the Premier League, but they're not a defensive team, which says a lot.
The only argument you could really make really is
him.
the only argument you can make really level is like possibly an international level, and even then he's actually done fairly okay for Poland recently. So you know, if you're going to say he's not very clean with it, you'd have to use his international record against Poland in previous games, which you could maybe make an argument for. But I don't know.
Well, you see, the reason I brought up Robin is because we all know what Robin does. He's very clinical at what he does. You know, cutting in and then scoring with his left foot into the top left or top right corner. And Aubameyang is the same thing. He's very good.
Did
at
you see?
that.
No. Did you see? Wait, was it the? I think was it the FA Cup semi or something where the ball went, I think, across from Saka, and he did like a volley with his left foot, and it then clipped the bar, and then. Yes, he's now sort of perfected this goal, but he scores all types of goals. So, and see, my thing is that look at who he's around. Look at what he has to work with. He's having to work with scraps. And my argument is, who knows? Maybe Lewandowski outscores, but I don't think Lewandowski scores as many goals as Aubameyang with these players that Aubameyang has to deal with and work with.
HH, I have a question for you though. HH, I have a question for you. I have a question for you, HH. So my question is, right, and this is the question here, is do you know...
Ask the question, right?
Okay. Do you know anyone who is called Kale, Sebastian Kale? Do you know anyone who is called Felipe Santana? Do you know Felipe Santana?
Okay, let me guess. Kel was the Dortmund captain, wasn't he? Back
in 2013. Do you know Santana?
Yeah. But again, Bidiko, if you are listening,
you know Schreiber.
Bidiko, you didn't listen. Bidiko, that's what he said.
If you're listening, I said as of right now.
And that 2013 Dortmund team was better than the Arsenal team right now. Come on.
Are you serious?
Before we even go there, as of right now, that's what I said. But even if you want to bring it into it, that Dortmund side that Klopp had at any point was a better side than this Arsenal team, which is the worst Arsenal side as I've ever seen.
Are you serious?
This is the worst Arsenal side that I've ever seen. It is the worst Arsenal side that I've ever seen. So, wait. So from what Rosario says, yes, Cole, like in that 2010 final break, Martin Rosario needs to respect Arjen Robben. Okay, so and Arjen Robben will and always be better than your so-called idol, Christina. So. That's the thing. And also, wait, how many World Cup finals has Cristiano played in? Yeah, there we go. You moron. Josh Bell says, so lost less than. HH slandering Lewandowski when Hazem ends their laugh miles of. I'm not slandering Lewandowski. I'm not slandering the dude. I'm just saying that as of right now, Aubameyang is a more clinical finisher. All right, I'm Ham. Let's see what you have to say for us. Ham, who is the more clinical finisher? Sorry, how do you rank Aubameyang right now as a finisher? This purely on
you know what I feel about this player. I called him the Gabonese Ronaldo, and that's or CR7 the GOAT, okay? Not the other one that introduced McDonald's to Real Madrid. But anyway, like
you're very nice. You're treading on very nice. You better watch your mouth. You better watch your mouth because you don't disrespect that. So Ham, I told you, say, just watch your mouth. Watch your tongue.
HH man, can I land? Land, please? When you talk about the most clinical player, I don't think it's Lewandowski. I mean, I don't think it's Aubameyang because Aubameyang misses a lot of chances. I don't know. Like he's not a player that finds a space and tap in that much. He does do that, but not that much. He's not that player where if he's in a tight angle, he can just finish the ball. Nah, he's that player like Sturridge who has to open up his leg and take the shot. And when he does that, like as we saw today, as we saw against Liverpool, he's just amazing. I think if you have Aubameyang running at a defense, that's the best place where you want him. So yeah, I think he's the most critical striker, not really the most clinical. I think he took that from Messi this season and the last
Okay,
season.
so
I don't
who
think
would you
Messi
say are the top three most clinical strikers then?
the most clinical. I think you have to put Lewandowski in there because I think he's the one main like actual striker for that's been doing it. I think people need to put on some respect on my boy, the legendary Super Saiyan Erling Haaland.
Shut up.
Hey, he
And
did
I-
have 10
and I
goals in the
think-
Champions League.
And I think this might be a little bit controversial, but really, guys, it's who's this guy? The guy that stole the guy's wife from Inter Milan is now at PSG.
Icardi.
Icardi.
Icardi, yeah.
What's
Icardi is definitely more.
Tap and Merchant. Tap
What's
and
Icardi
Merchant.
done recently?
Tap and Merchant.
Nah, Icardi's not better.
Tap and
Chukwuemeka
Merchant.
is better than Icardi.
This is why you are in the first ballot to go into Class A of the. So I'm Ham. You're going to really open your mouth and tell me that Mauro Icardi only claim to fame is adultery, is
Tap
a
and
more
Merchant.
finisher than Aubameyang in 2020. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I think that's exactly what I'm trying to tell you. Like besides
Oh my
Tap
god.
and Merchant. He's a tap and Merchant, bro. That's what he does.
but he was at Inter, like this guy would get 4 chances, it's 4 goals. If he gets 1 chance, it's a goal. Like he didn't play around. Basically, is the point that I'm trying to make.
Icardi's
I think if you look at a lot of strikers that are doing well at the moment, a lot of them are basically pace merchants who like to go in behind or make space in the from a low cross at the far post. So I wouldn't say they that clinical. Like Vardy is good, but I don't think he's that clinical. You know who's clinical? CR7, my boy. And
Vardy's
Messi,
finished
obviously.
Golden Boot last. But anyway.
Okay, all right. I've heard more than enough from you. So wait, let me just get this
Okay.
from Itel, who says, "Can't lie, but in the last CL, Gnabry impressed me more in the big games than Dolski. Dolski starts part of that CL, but Gnabry turned up when it mattered. No, look, for me, I'm not going to take anything away from Lewandowski. I think Gnabry is definitely the more kind of clutch player. But what Lewandowski did overall that season, the amount of goals that he scored, it is what it is. And he deserves the Ballon d'Or. I would have liked him to score in the final. But look, man, what he's done is still amazing, man. So, all right, Red Devil, man, talk to me. Aubameyang, how clinical is he as a finisher?
So, I mean, I don't think it's wrong because obviously I think the big change for Aubameyang in the last season and this, especially as Arteta coming, is that Aubameyang is now basically is playing as a winger effectively. You know, so he's basically playing on the wings. So he's not really playing the traditional number 9 role that he would normally play under Arteta. So for someone who, for a lot of the time, he hasn't played in that position, coming off the wing and scoring those goals, if you judge him based on that, then I'd say, yes, he's better than Lewandowski, because Lewandowski is not a winger. Lewandowski doesn't score goals in the wing. Lewandowski is like your traditional sort of number 9 player. So if we're talking about in the position that they're playing as a number 9, Lewandowski is clinical, is better in that sense than Aubameyang. But if we're talking about, okay, if you put Lewandowski on the wing against Aubameyang, then of course Aubameyang is going to be more clinical. Is more clinical of the chances that he creates than Lewandowski. And I think that spatial change is important because there's a very big difference playing as a number 9 in what you have to do on the field that Lewandowski does and does quite well than there is when you play as a winger, which is what Aubameyang is playing right now.
Yeah.
So I feel that when you've seen Arsenal this season,
but my argument though is that I see that every single Aubameyang goal has been like a Robin-esque goal. His goals are very varied.
No, of course they're very varied. But what I'm saying is that one guess I'm trying to say is that because you said was Aubameyang right now. Well, right now Aubameyang is playing effectively as a winger, and Lewandowski is playing as effectively as a number 9. And those two positions are different. And the way that you create goals and score goals is different in what you have to do. So obviously, as a number 9, hold up, linking people, etc. As a winger, obviously coming out wide, it brings it's different, in how you score those goals. So
Spencer, you're saying that Aubameyang's job is then easier then to score goals based on his position.
No. I'm saying. I guess what I'm saying is that if we're talking about like comparing Aubameyang and Lewandowski in terms of winger for winger, then of course Aubameyang in that position compared to Lewandowski is better. Will be better clinically. If you put Lewandowski out wide for whatever reason, he's not going to be anywhere near as clinical from that position as Aubameyang. But if you put Aubameyang in that number 9 position on Lewandowski, then I think Lewandowski's attributes in that position is better than Aubameyang and is more clinical. So that's why. That's what I'm trying to say here. I'm trying to think that the position that both are playing right now, as you said in the question, is different, and I think it just suits the different players. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. It's not that I think that one is better than the other per se. It's that they're playing 2 different positions right now.
Okay. So let's move on to the next topic, which is one that Liverpool fans would enjoy. Let's talk La. Let's talk La, aka Salah. Now, let me be very clear. I never said 16 goals max all those years ago. So I never said that. So that's a lie. Secondly, this is what I say about Salah, and I want everyone to go down the room and say what they say. Salah is an okay football player. He ain't great, he's high. On the ball, he's a limited football player. In terms of the art of goal scoring, of just putting that ball in that net and finishing, getting yourself in position to strike and put the ball inside that net, he is easily one of the best in the world at doing that. And he has been a prolific goal scorer for several years. So, and I think that, I don't think anybody can argue with that, is that I can't look at Salah and say, no, this guy is is like an amazing football player. I can't say that. Salah ain't Neymar. Salah is not the Oos. Okay, he's not the Oos. Okay, so we'll get to the Oos obviously when you talk about Barcelona, but he's not the the Oos.
Are we talking about footballers or hospital patients?
Let me land. I'll give you the time. Let me land. The Oos is generational. The Oos, left foot, right foot, dribble, all that kind of stuff, sexy stuff. Amazing dude. Has Salah ever dribbled anybody before? He hardly does. How good is his balance really? Not too good. How good is his football IQ? Yeah. How good is his creativity, his playmaking? Yeah. Goal scoring. Amazing. And I don't think we put enough respect on the amount of quality and how prolific this guy is at flipping goal scoring. So, Wilton, Salah, how do you rate him? Do you see him as an amazing player, one of the best players in the world? Do you see him just purely as a goal scorer, just as a poacher? How do you assess Mr. Mo Salah? And do you think he receives enough credit for what he's done in the goal scoring acumen?
Yeah, he definitely deserves all the credit that he's been getting lately. He's definitely top 10 in the world easily, fit in terms of goal scoring ability. Because what people forgetting, when this guy, I remember in 2016 in the Champions League, he was playing for Roma. This guy could have scored literally 5 goals against Real Madrid. This guy was missing goals after goals after goals, and somehow Liverpool buys him and he becomes one of the best goal scorers in the world. I don't know what he did over that summer. I don't know what Klopp did with him over training. This guy he's unbelievable. But my thing with Salah is that I think he's a little bit too selfish. Don't get me wrong. CR7 was selfish too, but the thing about CR7, I know he's going to score those goals. I know he's going to give me 50 goals a season. My thing with Salah, if he's in a slump, he knows he could pass the ball to Mane and Mane would get a tap and he's not going to pass the ball. He's going to shoot. He loves stat padding, which is good. I guess he's the type of player that loves accolades and stuff like that. But he's definitely top 10 in the world because what that second G, man, what a goal that was.
That was amazing.
No goalkeeper is saving that. But in terms of football abilities, like you say, he's not he's not like a Neymar, he's not like a Messi, he's not like that. he just knows. He just have that goal like killer instinct. He knows where to be to score goals. Like, but he's definitely a top 10 world class player in the world though. Like the goal that this guy be scoring, like unbelievable sometimes, man. I'm not even gonna.
Okay. So you're saying that he is just an amazing goal scorer. You wouldn't put him as like a top tier all round player.
No, not all around because you don't really see like this. Mane is a better footballer than what he does because you see when Mane is on a 1v1 situation, it's really hard for like a defender to defend him. But with Salah, is like he could dribble past you, but it's easier to defend him compared to the likes of Mane or Neymar. And shout out to Adrian for saying Leeds United are gonna make a really stand. They're not going back to Division 2. They're staying in the Premier League. They're staying for sure.
They're gonna be good. All right, man. From your boy Martin Rosario says this dude is still going with this Us narrative and 2 crap emojis. Martin, there's a new season coming through, and the Us scored against Gymnastic. Yes, it's a team that Barcelona played. They've won 3 UCLs. The Us is coming. And I am here for it. I am here to promote the US agenda. The US agenda starts Wednesday in the opening game. US 2020-2021. Jamal, talk to me about Salah. And because Jamal, last time you said that I was right about Salah, isn't it? So you obviously agree with my analysis on Salah, because remember when last time we talked, you said, yeah, Salah, he's just a goal scorer. So you agree, don't you?
First question I want to ask you, as an overall footballer, who is better, Aubameyang or Salah?
Salah is better.
Yeah.
Salah's better.
Salah.
This is not even close.
Salah.
Yeah, Salah, come on.
Yeah, it's Salah.
For me, I think Salah is one of the best inside forwards. Not striker, but inside forward, I think he's top 5. Salah is nowhere near a player as Neymar or even Hazard. He's nowhere near. But the way you guys talk about Salah is like he's a target man. So you guys never seen Salah goals? He dribbles a lot. And I find you guys say that how he's not very technical. Salah, and you guys underestimate his creativity too. Sometimes he could pass and he have an eye for a pass. So yes, Salah is one of the best goal scorers. I just feel you guys underestimate his footballing ability just a little bit. But yeah, I agree to everything else.
Let me just read this. Rodney says that if the Us doesn't outscore Pepe this season, I'm bare knuckling. Rodney, I would happily allow you to take a flipping anvil and dismember my face. If Pepe outscores Rodney, if the Us gets injured, it doesn't count. If the Us gets injured, it doesn't count. If the Us is fully fit, he is triply outscoring Pepe. I will bet my right not stack on that. Bidiko, Salah, how do you assess him?
He's too limited. He's too limited. He's more of like a left-footed finisher. He plays like an inside forward. I'm not saying that he's not good, but I think his prime has already passed. I think Salah's prime is past, and
his time has passed.
Yeah, he's getting old. Like he's in his prime right. Like he was in his prime the past 2 seasons, but now
Salah's 28.
Wait, Bidiko, he's 28.
He's 28. I know he's 28. I know he's 28. But what I'm saying is, he's getting old. He's getting old and he's very limited.
Bidiko, he's 28.
He's getting old. He's 28. What part of 28 don't you understand? 28 is literally where your prime is as a player. You begin to get old when you now reach 31, 32, 33, and so forth.
Exactly. And that is what I'm saying. He's reaching those.
That's 3 years. That's 3 years.
Actually, can I just say something? Wait, Bidiko, can I say? I truly, you know what? Everybody in here that's in it, I want to thank you all. Because I said to myself, HH, how do people sit down for 2 and 3 hours and listen to some of the complete and absolute garbage that comes out of people's mouths. And I'll just say, for people out there, guys, I thank you guys, and my heart goes out to you because I don't know what it is, because I say, like, how can anybody? Because the amount of drivel that comes out of people is crazy. Like BD Cole, I told you that this man is 28, and then you then say, yeah, he's getting old.
Okay, we'll agree to disagree.
I mean, what's BD Cole? What logic are you trying to use?
No. I am saying, right? Listen, I am saying he's very limited. He's not like Sadio Mane. He's not like the Dembele kid that you were talking about a few seconds ago. I'm not saying he's not good. Okay, I'm not saying he's not good, and I'm also saying that yes, I agree. He's very limited. He's a very limited footballer. He is not someone who can score with both feet. In fact, I think 2 seasons or last season ago, he missed 4 or 5 chances against Everton, which was very shocking, So, I'm not saying that Salah is not good. That's not what I'm saying. I am just saying that Salah is reaching. This is when he's getting to that 31, 32, 33 age that you're talking about. And I'm starting to question that this is it. This is really it for him. He doesn't have any more legs after 31, 32, 33.
BD4, is Salah better than Messi?
Is Salah better than Messi?
Yeah,
you want me to answer that question?
I want you to answer that.
No, okay. No, BD Cole. Nobody wants to answer that. Moving on. Bayern Fan TV, Salah, how do you assess him?
All right, I think he is. I was going to say the best player in the Premier League, but I want to say top 3 at least. And I'll tell you why. People have this preconceived notion where, like, you have to be skillful to be good. You have to be going past 3-4 players to be good. And I don't think that's really much the case. Like Liverpool, they play obviously with these extremely high fullbacks that provide the width. So that the wingers can come inside. And just from that perspective, he's doing exactly what he's tasked to do. He's essentially being one of the front 3 strikers, and he's scoring goals. He's getting the assists. Yes, he is very selfish, and I think his game would very much improve if he wasn't as selfish. But his stats speak for themselves. Since he's come in to Liverpool, they've made it to a final. Same with Mane as well. Since he's come in, they made it to a final. Now Mane, he provides a little bit of a different game plan where he is less greedy, but he also got he's also got Robertson to provide that width and to get the assists. Now with Salah, he's very much one target. He's going for goal. He wants to get the goals, but then he's also got Trent Alexander-Arnold who's providing width and who's getting all the assists. So he doesn't need to get the assists. He just needs to get the goals, and that's very much what he's doing. He's doing his job fantastic. He might not be like the most skillful player in the sense that he's going to get past 3-4 players, but he does what he's tasked to do. And I feel like we need to accept that, because you look at someone like Ramos, for example, as a centre back, he's not that great as on the ball, for example. He's not spraying 40-yard passes, but he's amazing at what he's tasked to do, and that is to defend. So I think we need to look at their roles in the team and look less as like an overall footballer, less as the overall package, and more so in what they're great at, and more so in what they help and provide to the team. And I think from that perspective, he's one of the 3 best players in the Premier League, besides De Bruyne, and I would go as far as say maybe Mane as well.
So view him as a great player and not just a great finisher. You say he's a great all-round player.
Yes.
Okay. So Nippon says, can you bring me into the Hangouts, please? Okay. All right. So BD Cole, since you said you'll be around tomorrow, I've got to put you on the bench. So Nippon, join in. The world I think this hangout needs a bit of Nippon. So Nippon, comment right down. There is 1 space left for you, Nippon. Comment, Nippon. We need you. So, eye test. Talk to me, man. Salah. Because remember, eye test, the thing with eye test is this guy's analysis is key, because he uses the eye test, because he uses what I use. So all of you guys, you worry about the stats. But see, I test, he's one of my peoples because I test understands how football was way back when, before all of you guys brought Husker and all that crap. So I test, using the eye test, and not these garbage stats. Is Salah an all-round great player or just a goal-scoring merchant?
So with Salah, we need to separate goal scorer and finisher, because in terms of goal scoring, the numbers, the stats, yeah, they don't lie. He's an amazing goal scorer. None of us here can deny that. He broke the record for most goals in a Premier League season in his first season, and ever since then he scored over 15 goals every single season. But in terms of finishing, he's just like Sterling. He's a great goal scorer, but in terms of finishing, I don't wait 2 seconds. Let me finish. In terms of finishing, I don't rate either Sterling or Salah. I think the reason why they score so many goals is because they have great movement and the team they're playing in. They're basically the opposite to Martial. Martial's a better finisher than both.
Bro, he's shit.
Wait, let me finish.
Whoa, come on, Martial's not bad. Come on.
Martial is a better finisher than Sterling and Salah. But the reason he doesn't score as many goals as them is because he doesn't have the movement that they have, and he doesn't play in a team that's as good and as creative as they do. So with Salah, I believe he's a great goal scorer, but in terms of finishing, I don't rate him. He misses so many chances, and as a player overall, he's not very good, to be honest. I've seen him today. Like he's so predictable. He's so one-footed. He always cuts inside. As a winger, I expect you to be unpredictable, go outside, inside, do some skills, but I don't rate him as a player. I rate him as a goal scorer. As a finisher, he's poor, and as a player, he's not really all that. That's my opinions on Mohamed Salah.
You know how many corporates are going to come after you for saying that?
Okay, wait, Nippon, easy, Nippon. I've got to first introduce you first because people will be a bit frightened as to whose voice was that. So, Nippon, give us your expert analytical assessments on Salah. Is he an overall quality player, or is he just a finisher goal scorer?
I think he's like a finisher goal scorer type player. I mean, I do rate him, but he's not in the same category as your Hazard.
Nippon. Are you transmitting from Iraq? Your mic sounds garbage. So I think you need
I'm in my car.
Okay, all right. So, I mean, if you can get the mic sounding better, that'll help because your mic sounds garbage.
I'm probably running out of battery. It's a wireless mic.
Okay, so just briefly. So tell us about Salah then.
I do rate him, but like the other, he's not as bad as what the other person was saying. I don't know who that person was, but he's not as bad as as that person was saying. I do rate him. He misses a few chances, but he does step up to the occasion as well.
Okay. So Josh Beston says, imagine downgrading from Willian to ZH. Laugh my ass off. Josh Beston, man. Love Beston. Let's just wait until the season starts before we start making crazy assessments. Wait, easy. Okay, wait, Storch, talk to me about your boy Salah.
Yeah, the boy Salah. For me, Salah is an all-round very good footballer, in my opinion. And I'll give you a lot of facts to back this. And a lot of people have been talking so much shit that I've realized, all Liverpool fans on this, we need to stop. I show too many of your players respect, because frankly, if the way you're talking about Salah, a lot of let's keep it real. The way people are describing Salah right now, that means 99% of players are shit. Let's just keep it real. You guys are talking like you've got like all of you have Messi in your squad or something, and that's not true. And
are you saying Salah's equivalent to Messi, man?
No. But the way you're talking, how shit Salah is, and then you rate some of your players. I mean, it's just bullshit. This guy BD caught on about he's a limited footballer, then trying to say Haaland is a great footballer. That's what I mean. These opinions are just ridiculous. Salah for me is the best.
Get him.
Salah's the best footballer. I've watched Salah. Okay, at first when I saw Salah, it was at Chelsea. I watched him in a game in Shrewsbury. He did this weird shot, and I said to myself, "This guy's a bum." But then he went to Fiorentina, and Fiorentina, he was a completely different player. I watched him at Fiorentina. That's why I realized this guy was special. In Fiorentina, he had a free roam. He could free roam, and this guy was a dribbling machine. He was dribbling like 5 dribbles per game. Then he flipped his game into a goal scorer. This is another thing that people disrespect Salah. Salah has created the second most chances after De Bruyne from open play, not set pieces, from open play. And people here are trying to tell me that this guy's not a good passer. In fact, Mane, I'm starting to think Mane is jealous of Salah because I've noticed this a lot. When Mane has to give Salah an easy pass, talking about greedy, he messes it up. Today, there was a chance. There were 2v1. Salah gives him a good pass. All he had to do was make sure the pass was forward. He messes it up. Against Napoli, give him an easy pass. He messes it up. Mane is more greedy than Salah. I've seen it time and time again. People just go for little occasions. Salah is a very good passer. The fact that this man has created so many chances, despite being greedy. Think about that. You all call him greedy, but somehow he still created the second most chances. How's that possible? And he creates them all from open play. And then you go that he's a system player, that retard eye test. How's he a system player when our system is spamming crosses? Salah can't head the ball. Salah can't head the ball. He's not going to be in the box for spamming crosses. We have 3 workhorses in midfield. Our tactics is just give it to the front 3 and let them figure it out. And the one in the middle is Firmino. I mean,
wait. And yet, Luke's almost got a point.
Let's just go easy on the language here. Let's be.
Yeah, that was a little.
So we don't need to start calling people.
Salah that can't head the ball, and he's got Trent on his side. People are saying he's a system scorer.
Look, Stodge, I get where you're coming from, and I really sympathize with you. But all I'm saying is this:
No. You talk about Hazard. The man scored 1 goal, man. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it anymore. People are rating these bums. If you're going to talk about Salah like this, let's get real on this chat. A lot of these players.
Stodge is still sore.
Let him land.
Stodge is still sore. No. Stodge is still sore because Neymar didn't turn up. Neymar didn't turn up, Stodge. Get over it. Neymar did not turn up in the CL final. Get over it, mate.
Honestly, 27 chances misses.
Oh, yeah. Wait. Stodge. What are you got a hat-trick in the CL final?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. What's going on?
He's the bum.
Interesting. Okay, we've had enough from you, Stodge. Thank you very much. I'm Ham. Talk to me about Salah. Give us your very honest, brutal assessment of Mohamed Salah.
Like, I think everyone has. I want to take from Volton C and from Studge what they said about Salah. That first Volton, I think, who said before Salah came to Liverpool, something changed. And Studge, who said that when he was at Fiorentina, like, this guy was really showing a lot of promise. But you see, the thing is with Salah, he is the guy that really symbolizes what Klopp means when he says mentality monsters. Because this guy, before he came, this is what he said. He said before he came to Liverpool, he knew that he had to get an extra level to his play, because he didn't want to be a failure like he was at Chelsea. So what the guy did, he picked up 4 soccer balls, he went to his backyard and started shooting at an empty net. Yeah, whatever, man. I'm from South Africa. I don't care. So against an empty net, this guy somehow unleashed a level in him that broke the goal scoring record in the Premier League. So when people talk about Salah, I don't care if you guys say he's not talented, he's not technical enough. He's got that mentality. He's got that CL. He's got that Premier League. I don't know what you guys want from this guy. He should have gotten that Ballon d'Or. We all know this.
I'm sure he should relax. No. You're
people comparing Martial to Salah.
You said
Martial. Oh my word, bro. And comparing Salah to Messi is not that far off, really.
No.
What? Stop it.
If you have Wait, how do you have no shame? How do you have no shame?
Players' goal responsibility. Unlike these people who Messi only is the only one scoring at Barcelona, and Lewandowski only one who's scoring high goals at Barcelona. Salah is sharing with Mane, and he's got Firmino in there as well, scoring
Salah
over
is
10
sharing
goals.
with Mane,
Bro,
and he's creating
bro,
his goals. What does that mean?
bro,
Come on, man.
sorry, but do not
He's
compare
got
Messi
more
with
goals
Salah.
than because Salah is in our team. He doesn't have to get every single goal as long as he creates an opportunity for us to win. That's all he's got to do. And that's the difference between Salah and idiots like Messi. Messi
Idiot
is
like
just
Messi. Wow. Wow.
who
4
just
Champions League.
he's
You're
basically all
ruining the
talent.
whole.
All
4
talent.
Champions
All
League.
talent.
Okay. Wait, I'm Ham. We've had enough from you. We've had enough from you, man. Martin Rosales says, Stodge going in. I'm here for it. Flames. So look. Look. I mean, all right. Look. Nomad, please talk. Salah. How do you rate him? Do you rate him just as a goal scorer, or do you rate him as an overall amazing player and one of the best players overall in the world?
Hello?
Speak.
Yep.
Actually, see.
Yeah,
Okay, wait, no one. Hold up. Why don't people just talk? Why do people say, "Hello? Can you hear me? Hello?" Like, just talk. Like, please, if you come in, just because I know you've heard of the question. If we couldn't hear you, then we'd say we can't hear you. So, no man, please tell me, Salah, man, what's your assessment of Salah?
Was glad to be back, AJ.
Look, man, no man,
Secondly-
like get the hell out of this place, man. Get the heck out of this place.
He was speaking.
Nah, no, but the guy, he's gone.
Very
Wait, so Erhan, did I come to you, Erhan?
Nah, I ain't said anything yet.
Salah, talk to me about Salah, Erhan.
Listen, man, Salah, this guy, he lives goals, he breathes goals. It's all he does, and he always starts off strong. So I mean, it's not a surprise to me. I think there's a stat where I think in every season he's been at Liverpool, I think he scored on the opening day of the season, which is kind of crazy. In a weird way, I know, like obviously, eye test was waffling a little bit. I do agree with him in the sense that when I think of Salah, I wouldn't class him as like an ice cold finisher. Like I wouldn't put him next to Lewandowski in that regard, because if you watch him play like on a regular basis, he misses a ton of chances, man, and a lot of them are because he tends to be quite greedy, and when he's in like narrow angles and things like that, he tries to get a shot off when it's easier to just lay it off. And I mean, Liverpool fans, I think obviously they love him, but they can attest to the fact that he is quite frustrating sometimes. But I mean, listen, the guy he's an instinctive, intelligent player. And I think that's why he gets his goals. It's not a matter of like, whether he's, ice cold finisher or not. It's about his, football IQ and his movement. I think that's what ultimately gets him the positions. He's like a bit of a Poundland, Cristiano, or, he's on the level of like, I would say Mbappe. And that's actually a question I have for you. Like you love Mbappe so much, but when we look at Mbappe, let's be real. Like, what really is the difference between Mbappe and guys like Salah and Cristiano? But Mbappe's game is built on goal scoring, just like Salah and Cristiano.
Wait. It's not Erhan. Like, my thing with him, I have said categorically, the Us is a better football player than Mbappe.
Of course.
My thing with Mbappe is mainly achievements, and
Yeah,
he's the prodigy.
Yeah, I know, but like, look at how much Cristiano has achieved. Like,
As in the World Cup. So,
Cristiano has achieved like 10 times as much as that guy. Okay, take away the World Cup, obviously, but look how much.
And cheerleading on the sidelines in the Euro final.
Listen, I don't know what trophies they won before. He turned up. Portugal was like some brick team before that. So what I mean, they lost to Greece in the finals in 2004. I'm still pissed off about that. But yeah, man, listen. Yeah. But back to Salah. Basically, yeah, I would say he's probably just about top 10 players in the world because of his intellect, I would say. But I don't really look at his stats because his stats are really misleading. Like, his stats do not translate into him being a good finisher. If you watch him on a day-to-day basis, you will see that he's not like a instinctive finisher, but he's a good player and he's smart. So he gets his goals. That's what he does.
Okay. So wait. So Josh Person says, me and Nay don't claim Stodge. Sorry for his nonsense. Oh,
Suck your mum. Fuck this guy.
Whoa,
Jeez, Dodge, man.
He's on it.
Dodge, please. I know we
Like
are past watershed, but please have some respect. Please don't bring anyone's mothers into this. I'm begging you, please. All right. Nomad, is your mic working there, my dear friend?
Yeah.
Nomad, are you there?
Yes,
Yeah, he's
yes,
speaking.
yes.
I can hear him.
Yeah.
Okay. So please boost up your mic. So give us your assessments of Salah. Is he just a goal scorer or is he an amazing player overall?
Yeah, he was a pace merchant before. And then I think when he moved to Roma, I think he started to become an actual goal scorer because he was missing a lot of chances before that
Mm.
at Chelsea, even at Fiorentina. But then at Liverpool, something clicked, and they needed a goal scorer. He provided that. But I actually I agree with one of the panelists that he's a really, really, really limited player. Like, really, he's single-footed, doesn't have physicality, doesn't track back, is not a pure playmaker, is not a target man. He
Be-
doesn't play the aerial game.
be-
Hasn't played in a lot of other positions. But I mean, whatever works, works. I mean, there's the same argument that people use against Messi, that would he be able to perform in the Premier League, in other systems, in other positions? But like if you have a system that works for you, if you have a playing style that works for you, and if your weaknesses are, covered
So
up, but your
so
strengths are
overall,
boosted, then it works.
okay, overall, goal scorer or an amazing player?
Goal scorer, definitely goal scorer. I don't think he'd be remembered into even as the top 10 of the current generation after a few years.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. PK Amono, for your donation. Thank you. Stodge is bipolar,
yes, he is.
by the
bro.
way.
Yes, he is.
Stodge, are you bipolar?
Yeah, that's your answer.
I don't know.
Stodge,
I don't
Stodge, are you bipolar?
No. It's just that sometimes when I hear retarded claims like he can't pass the ball, but somehow he created the second most chances in the last 3 years in the Prem. I mean, if you're gonna say something,
Wait,
at
who
least
said
provide
that?
some evidence.
Who?
This
Wait,
guy,
who
this
said Salah
nomad,
can't pass the ball?
nomad. He
Oh,
said he can't
oh,
pass.
man.
He doesn't know how to create. But you tell me, he
Yeah,
can't do
I
anything.
just said
He's
that.
done all of this. I mean, that's what I mean when
Yo,
people say stuff.
yo. I
pisses
said he
me off.
can't. He's not a pure playmaker. I never said he can't pass the ball. I
You
said
said
he's
you
not a
definitely
pure
said he can't
playmaker.
create. He can't pass.
No.
You said
He's
He can
can't
pass.
do
But
anything.
he,
No,
I
he
can
went through
pass.
every
he's
ability.
not a
He
creative
went through
dude.
every.
Okay, no, wait. We need to get some other guys. So your boy Isis says, understand the difference between finishing and goal scoring. Salah is a great goal scorer because of his amazing movement, but his finishing is average, which is fair. He needs 3,000 chances before he scores goals, which is why Aubameyang is more of a clinical finisher than Salah, because Aubameyang needs less chances to say what's up. PK Amuna says, what's your thoughts on FIFA's ratings on Bayern? FIFA's ratings are complete and utter dog crap and garbage. They do it on purpose because they want to get a reaction from people. EA aren't Konami. Konami actually care about the game. EA are a multi-billion-dollar corporation. They do it for social media interaction and for people to react to it. It's all part of the game. They do it intentionally. Red Devil, Salah, talk to me. Don't bring a United bias into this.
I will bring my mighty bias in. He's Pen Salah for start. Pen Salah. If you're going to go Pen Anders, Pen Salah. And shout out to Leeds, by the way. They played a fantastic game. But for some of their defending, they should have got a point. I agree with. I actually agree with what ITS actually said there. And this game is testament to that. So everyone's saying Salah's main Salah is awesome. Okay, the guy scored 1 goal from open play. He didn't cut open Leeds in this game today. He didn't destroy them. He didn't sort of, okay, this guy created many chances from the wing, had many attempts at goal. That didn't happen. He scored a hat-trick. 2 of them were penalties, and one of them, let's be fair, if the defender clears it better than that, he doesn't just head the ball to Salah and Salah scores it.
Bro, can Martial score a goal like that? Can Messi
Yes, he can
outscore a
actually.
goal
He
like
did
that?
that. He actually did.
no fighting,
I'll
no
show you that.
Wait, let
I'll
him
show
land.
you that goal.
Let
Let him land. Let him
That goal
land.
against Bournemouth.
Let him
That
land.
goal
Let him
against
land.
Bournemouth. You can go and see that goal against Bournemouth that Martial scored, and tell me that Martial can score a goal like that. That's fine. But I'm not. This is not me saying that Salah is obviously the penalty thing. I'm going to say it because you guys are saying Penandes. He scored 2 penalties. My point is agreeing with what Itis actually sort of said there is that in terms of goal scoring, I think anyone in this panel saying that Salah's goal scoring is garbage needs to have the head examined. Clearly, Salah is an amazing goal scorer. Clearly, Salah creates opportunities. There's no denying that or anything. But if we're talking about finishing, in part because, well, for starters, he's not obviously a number 9. He's not a striker. He's positioned as a winger. So in his position, I don't expect Salah necessarily to be that's not his job per se. Like, his job is to sort of come in on the wing to create and to contribute goals. That's how Liverpool play. He's not supposed to be a number 9 in terms of like Lewandowski, for example, Kane, etc. Those players are better finishers than Salah. Maybe even Vardy, you could argue, maybe a better finisher in that position than Salah, because he needs those chances. So I don't really see where the issue here is. You can say that Mo Salah is a very good player, but also at the same time say his finishing is not that great. For me, this game in Leeds,
would you put him more as just a goal scorer or just mainly a goal scorer? How do you assess him?
So what's the question? I don't understand the question. So is he goal scorer, mainly goal scorer? It's the same thing.
His main goal, his main attribute, he's just mainly a goal scorer, or no, he's actually an amazing overall player, an amazing footballer overall.
Yeah, I think overall as a football player, overall Salah is a good football player. There's no doubt about that. His passing is good. His finishing, I'll bet average is still okay. So I think the overall package of Mo Salah, for what he does for Liverpool, you can't deny it. You can't deny Mo Salah, his contributions to Liverpool Football Club, winning the Champions League, winning the Premier League, and obviously that amazing, I think, 17-80 season. You can't deny that. But I mean, when people are now saying stuff like comparing Messi equivalent and what have you, and stuff like that. Come on, that's let's be real here. You just can't. We shouldn't be going into a messy conversation, okay? Because he doesn't chance.
If I can't, you can't either.
But I am Ham. What I'm trying to say is this game, for me, this game is a good example of that. Everyone's Twitter gassing Salah scored a hat-trick. Salah scored 2 penalties, okay, and 1 goal from open play.
Did you see that goal? Did you see that goal?
The defender literally headed. The defender literally headed the ball to him, and he scored.
Yeah, but it was still a quality goal, though. It was still a quality goal.
Of course, it's a quality. Yeah, that's fine. What I'm trying to say is that it's not like Salah cut open the Leeds to the back 4, created multiple chances, and scored those goals. That didn't happen.
Like that.
Wait, guys, easy.
Where's Messi would do that? So that's what
wait. I want to bring this up. So your boy Nasser says Sterling equals Salah.
We
agree.
Who you pick?
Salah. I pick Salah over Sterling. After missing that open Champions League goal, I'm sorry, Sterling, you're trash.
Wait.
How can you call them trash for one situation?
In that moment, you're telling me Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo, Mbappe, and Neymar are missing that goal. I don't even rate Junior as the top 3 best player in the world right now.
You see Mbappe score that goal. You see Mbappe in the final. Come on, he missed a few sitters there.
That Sterling miss? Did you guys see Sterling miss? I'm confused. Did you guys see that miss? It's the way he missed it. It's actually harder to.
Mate. Mbappe didn't score against United Academy, man. I mean, let's.
Wait. But how does one miss mean that a dude is completely trash and everything it negates everything? Yes, it was a bad with a horrible miss. I don't agree with this. For me, Salah is better than Sterling, but it was a bad miss. You can't just say, because of that miss or he's trash. And Sterling, for the past, not this season, but the previous 2 seasons, has arguably been the best player in the Premier League and has been critical to City getting 100 points and City getting 98 points. That's real talk. And it's not just about goals he scored, it is the amounts of winning goals that he scored. So people are sleeping on Sterling. Just says that a drug test is needed for Hangout members and H. No best thing you needed drugs is because you believe that Neymar is relevant in 2020. Your boy yesterday says that you can't compare.
Oh my god.
Marcus Ballon d'Or Rashford, man.
Marcus Rashford is trash. It's trash. I'm a United fan. Come on.
And I seen it all. I just saw.
To be fair, is that any more delusional than saying Salah is equivalent to Messi?
Yeah,
I don't think that's any more delusional. But apparently that's a valid opinion in this hangout. So I'm just saying.
No, but you cannot listen to what I Am Ham says. I Am Ham just talks. He talks. You don't take him serious. He just talks.
Like I don't even know what you're meant to say to that trash, man. Because the other side, are you sick or are you a psychopath? Because you can't say that. Marcus Rashford is average. He's average. See, Rashford isn't even the best player in his own team. What Rashford is a result of Man United propaganda pushed forth by Red Devil. That's what it is. It is this thing that, and I almost fell for that. Oh, maybe Rashford is out. I no, Rashford, he's high. He's okay.
Guys, Rashford is still better than Hazard in 2020. Rashford is still better than Hazard in 2020, mate.
His boots, he's not. So it is just more Man United propaganda. So
he's still better than Hazard in 2020.
Any hate from Cristiano, Ole, and Marcus Ballon d'Or Rashford. Well, side, you're going to be hearing a lot of hits from me from those guys. So it is what it is. Now let's go back. Let's go to this big one now. We're talking Barcelona versus Real Madrid, the title race, La Liga. Well, it's as popped up this weekend, but really these guys they play I think Tuesday and on Wednesday, I believe. Actually, when do Real? I know Barcelona play on Wednesday. Real Madrid play on
Sunday.
Oh, yeah. So Real Madrid play next Sunday against away to tough game away to Real Sociedad. So here's my thing. This could be the decade that Real Madrid dominates. Let's look at the lay of the land. It seems, or it may be, that Messi leaves at the end of the season, or even Messi signs a pre-contract in January. So first of all, we don't know where Messi's mind is at. Barcelona, people can't agree on signings. People say Koeman is trash and so forth. Team is rebuilding. Real Madrid are the defending champions, and they're very much set in their ways. And they've got some young boys in there, and they've got some older guys in there. I don't think Atletico are going to do much, especially if Simeone is in there. And I don't really think any of the other dudes like Sevilla and Valencia are pretty much bankrupt. So most will say that this is Real Madrid. Like Barcelona ruled Spain this past decade, 100%. Like for the whole decade, I think only 3 times in the last decade Barcelona did not win. I think twice from Real and one from Atletico. The rest of the times Barcelona won the league. But no Xavi, no Iniesta, no David Villa, no Puyol. Team is a lot older. Piqué, Busquets, they're declining, and it's a new team. So my thing, and see, that is why I am desperate to see what this Barcelona team look like, because people have disrespected Koeman and said, "What's this guy doing? This guy's crap. This guy's useless." And I just want to just see what it is. I believe in those. I get it. The US has sometimes had some break games. I get it. I understand. Oh, by the way, side note, Animal Crossing is an extremely addictive game. Side note. So I understand. I get it. But what's my name? My name is Have Hope. He who has no hope is useless. So I think that let us just look at Wednesday. Let's give me 5 games. Just give me 5 games. We'll just have one season and let's just see what's up. Because I think that people are making a mistake in just completely writing off Barcelona, saying, they're done, they're finished, Messi doesn't even want to be there and everything, because I think that Barcelona could surprise a lot of people this season. And if Koeman plays to these strengths of Griezmann and he really helps to elevate the roles of these other players, I think Barcelona could do something very interesting if they totally change the way that they play and change their philosophy. But for me, Real Madrid are looking good. Benzema is playing perhaps the best footballer of his career. I think Vinicius is raw and everything, but a very, very exciting player. We're finally going to see what this Martin Odegaard guy is going to do. So everything seems to be as if Real Madrid are going to dominate. So that is the question. For this decade and so forth, are we still going to have a duopoly back and forth, or are we going to see Real Madrid totally take over this decade if we assume that Messi does leave Barcelona and this Barcelona side without a true superstar struggle against what you would argue is a much better, deeper squad that Real Madrid have? Or do you guys think that Atletico with the João Felix can somehow do something if they sack Simeone? Wilton, kick us off, baby.
First of all, I have a question for you. Is there a difference between peak and prime?
Peak and prime.
No.
Would you say Mbappe is in his prime, or would you say he hasn't hit his
No
prime?
way.
Mbappe is not in his prime, man.
So is there a difference between peak and prime? There's no difference. They're the same.
Yeah,
There is a difference.
Peak.
Peak is the best you can ever get. Your prime is your prime years.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
like a.
Okay.
It's a prolonged.
Said
Okay.
your
Okay.
peak is, put it this way, perfect example. So your peak could have been when you were 22 and 23. Prime for an attacker, 26, 27, 28, maybe 29, but really 27, 28, 29 if you're an attacker. If you're a defender, you would say 28, 29, 30, 31. Or even go even more, because for defenders, it's a lot. Also for defenders, your prime years maybe end at like 32, 33. If you're an attacker, your prime years end at about 27, 28, 29. Those are your prime years. But your peak, Gota's peak was obviously when he was at that 2014 World Cup, because he never reached those heights in his prime year. So you may not even reach your peak when you're in your prime year. So that's also the thing.
Okay.
So
Anyway, back to this La Liga thing. I think they should just cancel La Liga, give the title to us already. We the change, like not messing around. See, the thing about it, I see a lot of people say Real Madrid gonna easily win this. It's not gonna happen. As much as I want it to happen, when you have Lionel Messi in La Liga, it's a whole different ballgame. For crying out loud, the guy won 10 La Ligas in the last decade or so. So when you have Messi, and I didn't watch the game today. By the way, he's the captain. I saw him with the captain Orban today. He's their captain still. Griezmann looking, the sidekick looking pretty good.
wait. What? Messi was the captain?
Yeah, Messi
Yeah,
is the captain.
it's
He had the
confirmed.
captain Orban. Yeah.
It
That
was
doesn't make
confirmed
sense.
yesterday.
That doesn't
And
make sense.
Busquets is like
That doesn't
captain.
make sense at all. I'm
That's
sorry.
a bad move. Bad
That's a bad move. How
Wow.
can you do that?
Wow.
It shows Messi
That's
bigger than the
Check the
club.
website. It's on their website.
Useless.
Yeah, he's the captain.
Cowards.
That just sums up the Barca season, man. That's
Cowards.
If the U stays healthy, Barca have a big chance of competing with us. You have Messi. When you have Messi, you always have a chance to win La Liga. Sidekick looking good. But my thing with Real Madrid, on paper, we should win La Liga again next season with the squad that we have. But my worry is Vinicius Jr. needs to work on his finishing. If this guy has the finishing of maybe Cristiano Ronaldo back in his menu days and his early days, this guy is easy top 10 in the world if he has good finishing. That's all he needs. We know what he could do with the ball. He's dribbling, he's speed, he's flair, he's Brazilian. This guy's really amazing. We have the like of Asensio. Hopefully Hazard cut up, he stopped eating waffles and stuff.
Don't mention that guy.
Hopefully he hits the gym more, because I saw Luka Jovic train.
Move on. Don't mention his name. Just
I
move
saw
on.
Jovic working out today. Zidane say he's looking in his best form ever since he got to Real Madrid. And Benzema, like you said, is in his best form. Ramos just had his arguably best goal scoring career at Real Madrid. The squad is aging, because we didn't. I was hoping we bought some transfer like the likes of Van der Beek and the Havertz, but we were broke. Apparently, COVID hit us hard. I don't know. I'm still trying to wrap that to my head why we broke. But yeah, it's not gonna be easy for Real Madrid. I wouldn't be surprised if Barcelona wins La Liga, because when you have Messi again, Messi's just it's just in La Liga. It's like he mastered La Liga. He just knows the league. He knows the league from inside out. I want us to win it, but I just can't see us saying, "Oh, we're gonna dominate La Liga." It's not gonna happen. With Barcelona with their finances, it's not gonna happen. Koeman is not a bad coach. Did you guys see what this guy did for the Dutch national team? Those guys, they're at the 2016 Euro. They were not even there at the World Cup, and he took. I know you guys don't rate the UEFA Nation League, but he took them to their first, kind of slightly major tournament. So he's not. I don't think he's a bad coach. He might be doing something with Barcelona. We're gonna find out. I'm excited too for this new season. But
no. Also, look, very easy, very simple question. Do Real Madrid dominate this fourth?
No, we're not gonna dominate. I still think we're gonna win it, but I don't think we're gonna dominate. There's no way. As long as Messi is there, we're not dominating.
Okay, so do you then see that it's a back and forth with you and Barcelona, or it's a 3-horse race, or even other teams winning?
I think it's a 2-horse race because last season Barcelona were freaking trash and Atletico still finished like 12, 13 points behind them. So,
but if we assume that Messi is going to leave, so you think that Barcelona will still win the league without Messi?
Hey, maybe Messi might be like, "This is my last year. Might as well go all out for this club."
I'm saying for the forthcoming decade. If you assume that Messi won't, obviously he won't be around for the whole decade.
Yeah.
Do you still see that Barcelona still win the league without Messi?
Of course, it's like people saying we're not gonna win the Champions League since Cristiano Ronaldo left. That's not gonna happen. We're still gonna win the Champions League. I'm not saying it's gonna happen now. Like Real Madrid, I hope. Let me tell people, this is La Liga. As much as I want it to happen, I want to see it before I die. There's no way Real Madrid is gonna win 10 La Liga straight in a row. I'm sorry, so it's just not gonna happen. Barcelona has found this into it's not gonna happen. I want that to happen, but it's not gonna happen. Like Barca has money, they're always gonna attract talented talent from South America. It's just not gonna happen.
From Tudare123, thank you for the super chat, big man. Vinicius, Rodrigo, Valverde, and Odegaard look very promising, which could be a reason why Real Madrid dominates this decade. As I said, look, man, there's a strong argument. Now, look, we don't know if Barcelona somehow make a big time transfer, or if they get Lautaro Martinez, he turns out to be a supreme amazing player. Who knows what Ansu Fati can become? Who knows? Because they have him, but who knows? But although Ansu Fati now he ditched his agents of who was Messi's brother, now has Jorge Mendes as his new agent, so maybe he may make a big time move. But if Barca keep hold of Ansu Fati and he becomes this big time player, who knows what he can do? But Real Madrid, they look to be in very, very good shape. Lost Leston says, just a reminder. Oh my God. What? I thought we were done with this guy, and I'm happy to see them back. Huesca and Elche are back in La Liga. Oh wow, man. Oh well, welcome back, man. I have missed you guys. PK Amono says, will Real sign Haaland, Mbappe, and Camavinga? I've heard a lot about this Camavinga dude, man. Mbappe seems inevitable. Seems inevitable, and I'll be surprised if in the next 3-4 years Real Madrid do not sign either Haaland or Mbappe. I'd be very surprised. I just think that is just destined to happen, and I think once that happens, we're talking about something very different. So Jamal, talk to me. Real Madrid and Barcelona, the battle for the next decade. How do you think it plays out?
Yeah, before I answer that question, I just want to know if you have an obsession with fat players. Ronaldo, Hazard, Ronaldinho.
Lamal.
I can't believe this guy is unfit.
We are not Lamal. This question has nothing to do with that dude. Okay? This is strictly about Real Madrid and Barcelona. We are not talking about diet plans. Okay? There are not diet plans that we're talking about here. This is a football podcast, not a food podcast. Please don't mention his name. We will talk about him tomorrow. But for tonight, please don't mention his name. Please don't. Let's just focus on Real Madrid and Barcelona. Who wins that battle between these two juggernauts?
For me, this season, I think Real Madrid will win it. It would not be a 10-point gap or 15-point gap. It will be very close again. But the decade, I think Real Madrid will dominate the decade. Reason why, you said it, I feel Mbappe will come to Real Madrid. Plus, I don't trust Barcelona recruitment team. I more have faith in Real Madrid recruitment team that they could bring in a better squad than Barca, because Barca, for the last 5-6 years, they have buy trash. They buy Dembele, Pjanic, they buy Braithwaite, they buy trash. So for that reason, I feel Real Madrid have better young players and I trust their recruitment team better. So I feel Real Madrid will dominate for the next decade.
So how do you think Barcelona will fare over the next decade? Do you see them signing a big time player, or do you think they will struggle really badly? Or do you think that you could see a serious decline for Barca, or you think they'll be fine?
Nah. I don't think Barcelona will go down further than third. I think they will always be fighting with Atletico Madrid for second and third. But winning La Liga, though, I don't think they will win it. Because, as I said, I don't trust their recruitment staff. They might buy a big player because they still have that name. They're still Barcelona. But centre backs, right back, I don't think they will recruit good in those areas. But they will always have standing players because they are Barcelona.
Right here. So, guys, send questions. After this is our final topic, but after this, we're going to take questions. So, guys in the live chats, send questions. Any crap questions will not be answered. Please send questions. Send questions. What?
You haven't come to me.
I'm Ham. I'm not coming to you yet because I know what crap is going to come out of your mouth. Erhan, talk to me. Real Madrid and Barcelona. How do you see it faring off?
Yeah. Before I get to that, I just want to say I'm so disappointed in Ronald Koeman, man. Like, that is the ultimate beta male like behavior I've ever seen. Like, how are you giving this guy the captaincy after all of that, man? What the hell?
I think it was out of his hands.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Either way, man. Like, if that was me, nah, I would not do that. He's already putting himself under huge pressure. But yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is like the first time we can officially say that Real Madrid are favourites since like Zidane joined, back in whenever that was, like 2016. So the onus is very much on them. It's going to be interesting how they actually deal with like the pressure of being favourites, because it's always been Barcelona, right? Because they've always been so dominant in the league. And I'll be real with you, I'm not really that convinced with Real yet, man. Like, their squad is kind of like top heavy. I feel like there's a lot of young talent in there, but at the same time, they have a lot of holes to they have a lot of gaps to fill once like the likes of Ramos and Modric retire, and they still haven't replaced CR7, so they have a lot of gaps to fill in, and they need to be careful because even if Barcelona do drop off, which I reckon they will, I don't think they will win the league this year. There's no reason why the likes of Sevilla or Atletico Madrid can't catch up, because if you look at the squads that they have, how different are they to Real Madrid's squad, really? Like,
no. But so you really believe? So after what those guys pulled against Red Bull Leipzig, you still believe in Simeone and Atletico Madrid? Really?
No, I think Simeone is more of like a domestic merchant. I feel like he thrives in domestic competitions. If you remember a few years back when he won the league, and he does well in the Spanish league. But I feel like it's just this is the worst Real Madrid and Barcelona squads I've seen in a long time if you combine the two. So that's why I'm thinking we could go back to I don't know if you remember in the early 2000s. Do you remember when Valencia and Deportivo Mallorca, guys like that were challenging for the league and stuff? It was going crazy. Benitez won the league twice in a row or something crazy like that. If there's ever a time for the smaller teams to close the gap, it's now, because listen, Real Madrid and Barcelona, they're not spending zilch. They're not improving their scores at all. These guys, the other smaller teams, they're still trying to add rackets.
But don't you think that Real Madrid's squad is far too strong for any of the other teams in the league, though? Vinicius, Rodrigo, Martin Odegaard, Ramos, Militao, Fede Valverde.
Yeah, but a lot of these guys you're listing, they're not really proven yet, are they? They haven't done it over a long period of time for us to say, okay, these guys are world class. So I think it's difficult to say, but yeah, I think Real, if they do win it, they'll manage it they'll just scrape it. But I still think the other teams could pip them to it. But yeah, I think it's just gonna be a toss up between 3 or 4 different teams over the next 10 years, really.
Okay. I'm not going to come to him yet. Bayern Fan TV, talk to me. Barcelona and Real Madrid. How do you see this faring out?
People are underestimating Barcelona a lot. Last season, they were only 5 points behind Real Madrid, and that's key. They drew against, I think, who was it, Real Betis Sevilla, or someone like that.
It was Sevilla that Barca drew against, and we took over La Liga. We won on a winning streak and just won it.
No, thank you, Sevilla. Much further down the line. I think it was Celta Vigo who was 17th. Yeah, for Barca, who drew against Celta Vigo 2-2. I think it was, who ended up being 17th. So they've had a lot of bad results against the smaller teams. When you actually look at their results against like the bigger teams, they actually didn't do too bad, but they just conceded too many goals, and that is with their at that point their coach. And I think Koeman, he isn't world class or anything of that sort. He's not a tactician. He's not a man manager, but he at least knows what he wants, and he at least knows what he needs to get to play the style that he wants. So I think those 5 points are going to get reduced. Last season, many people said that Griezmann didn't really do anything for Barcelona. If he even just puts in 10 goals a season, 10 or maybe 5 more goals than he did last season, that's already 2-3 points, and that's already closing down the gap between them and Real Madrid. Real Madrid, they have a lot of young players coming in. Obviously, they're linked with Camavinga. I think I rate him quite a lot, but I don't think he's Camavinga.
Okay,
yeah. They're huge favorites. I think he's basically a Real Madrid fan, and he's gonna go there in 2022. And he's obviously only 17 years old, and he's already a starter. But I don't think with all these talents coming in that they have enough established players, because you look at all their older players, they're coming to the end of their career. Ramos is 34. Toni Kroos, I don't know how old he is. I think he might be 32.
Remember, as we say, defenders can still play their high level till 36 or 37.
Yeah, I very much agree with that. And obviously that's what we saw last season with Real Madrid, because they had the best defense in La Liga, despite someone like Atletico Madrid being defensively minded and defensively oriented, and Real Madrid still did better than them offensively. But they don't have enough, for me, they don't have enough firepower. Last season, they were so dependent on the defense and the structure that I feel like they're going to get a lot more draws than wins. And they're not going to get as many losses as, say, Barcelona, but they're going to get a lot more draws. And I think that's really going to narrow that gap. And that's why I think Barcelona are going to go toe-to-toe with them until like the last game of the season. So I think it's going to be very, very close, even despite the fact that Messi, he wants out. I still think it's going to be very, very close.
All right. I test.
So wait, HH, can I go next? Because I have to head off if that's okay.
All right, okay, go. Okay. Red Devil, go for it.
Sorry, brother, yeah. I gotta say I gotta disagree with Bayern Fan TV for the simple reason that is Barcelona's back 5, and then back 6 if you include Sergio Busquets, pretty much the same as it was last season. As far as I'm aware, there's been no difference. So that back 5, back 6 that conceded 8 goals to Bayern, that did that at the end of the day over 38 games game season, where you have to have a solid back 4. You have to have a solid defense. That's how you win titles. Okay, you don't win titles with just hoping that Griezmann, Messi, Dembele will score a few more goals and win. You win titles by being defensively astute and being structured. Koeman is a very good coach, but I'm sorry, Piqué, Alba, Busquets, Semedo, not relevant in 2020. The Stegen is a very good keeper. It is, but they're not good enough. I still don't understand how Sergio Busquets is the first. They want to get Thiago maybe can play Busquets, who knows? But they're not good enough at the highest level anymore. So if people like these guys are, early to mid 30s, they're not going to somehow. It's not like, okay, there's potential there, and they're going to go further. They're thinking of getting rid of MTT, for example. So I don't see where, unless they sign quality defenders, get a replacement for Busquets, frankly, I don't see how they even get closer. In fact, if anything, I'm concerned with Barca. You add the whole Messi debate with it, giving him the captaincy. You don't know what's going to go on behind closed doors, with the fact that Messi effectively said to the whole team, guys, you guys are trash. That's effectively what he's like. He didn't say those words, but he said it in live. He said, my teammates are not good enough for me to play. So how do you think, as a Barcelona player, you're going to feel about that? So you take that tension, as well as the fact there's a lack of reinforcements, defensive reinforcements to the Barca side. I don't get how do people think that they're going to even compete with Real Madrid, let alone in the Champions League in Europe? If I was a Barca fan, I'd be very concerned right now. And the only thing maybe with Real Madrid might be
you don't believe in the US.
If you
say it with your chest, you obviously you are in the US.
Because at the end of the day, it's like the same recall where every single Champions League now people but Messi can turn up and do something. It means nothing if you can't defend. Like, if you can't defend, if you don't have a good holding a CDM or something that you can protect the back four at least, what does it matter if Usman scores a goal or two if you concede 5? Like, it means nothing, you know. So, like, if they're going to win a league, if they're going to go further in the Champions League, they need to sort out that back 5. Simple as. That's what Liverpool, where they are, what did they do? They had Salah, they had Mane scoring goals. What did they change? They sorted out their defense. Then they won the Premier League. They won the Champions League. It's no different with Barcelona. If they think that signing another 4 player or hoping that Ousmane Dembele is going to try and fix things, then they're going to be painfully mistaken, and they're going to concede double digits in the Champions League this time around, because the figure keeps on. No, let's be serious here, guys. 3, 4, 8. Why? If their defense is the same and they come against a Bayern with Leroy Sané or some other team of the quality, why don't you think they're going to concede that many goals? Am I wrong?
Setien was selling chewing gum on the road when they hired him. So a chewing gum seller is different from who I believe is actually a good manager. Now, Koeman is English and everything, but I think, you see, Setien, the guy did not have a clue what he was doing. And defense relies a lot on planning and strategy, which Setien had.
No, but this has been going on for years, though. This has been going on for years. So it's not just we can blame Setien for Setien came in, have 6 months, fine. You can't tell me that Barcelona's defense has been, when Barcelona's defense has now gotten like this since Setien took over. Valverde was there. Especially in the Champions League, it's been going for 4 or 5 years. So
the Valverde thing is different because that's 4-0 is different from 8-2. Because what's it called? Really, that's 4-0 is really like 2-1 or 3-2 because the result was 4-3. So Liverpool were like, we're 3-0 down. We need to score 4 goals without reply to win. So as bad as 4-0,
that's fine. But those players were younger then. That's my point. Those players were younger then. You've now 2 or 3 years later, you still got the same players. You haven't changed anything, and you're expecting them to make man of the match performances over 38 game season and in a CL when they've been humiliated, and when their best player has basically said, "You guys are trash. I want to leave." I just don't get how that's functional. I don't get how you need a functional team to compete. And Barcelona, from the outside looking in, look completely dysfunctional. I think Koeman, if Koeman does win the Liga and go far, then we've got to put some respect on Koeman and potentially put him top 3 managers in the world if he does that.
Okay, stop.
If he does it.
Okay. Let's hear from Mr. Natsu, who says, if Madrid are losing to City in the CL, then they are very far from being great, in all honesty. But Natsu, we are talking specifically about Spain. So this is really mainly about Spain and domestic. 100% for sure. Like, I think Real Madrid will be one of the threats in Europe, but I don't think they are ready to really say what's up in Europe.
The disrespect, man. The disrespect, man.
No. They're not really ready to say what's up in Europe. I think they still need to sort out the whole Spain thing. They still, unless Zard says what's up.
Zard is coming next season. He's scoring 15 goals in the Champions League. I see it. The final, he's gonna get a brace, and we're gonna celebrate the Champions League together. 24-hour stream. I already see it.
Vilton.
Right now he's going with fried chicken.
Vilton, please relax. Vilton, please relax. Vilton, please relax. Eye test, man. Barcelona, Real Madrid. How do you see this thing playing out?
Yes, for me, I believe Real Madrid have the next decade patterned. Look at all the youngsters they have. They have Kubo, Vinicius, they have Rodrigo, they have Militao, they have Mendy, Valverde, Odegaard. They're patterned for the next 10 years. And there's also some transfers that are inevitable, that are going to happen, like Mbappe. There's some transfers in football where you just know one day it's going to happen. And everyone knows one day Mbappe will play in a Real Madrid shirt. So I believe Real Madrid have the next 10 years pattern. But in terms of Barcelona, I think for them to fix up, there's a lot of decisions that they have to make, and one of the main things they need to do is eradicate player power. They need to fix the Messi situation, because I'm sick of tired
No,
of what
he's
Messi.
he's still the captain. They are pussies. They're cowards. They're cowards.
Listen,
He owns the club. He runs that club. But no. I'm sorry. I'll let you go. But let me just say this right now. If Messi walks onto that pitch on Wednesday with the captain's armband, I am bumping Barcelona up to Class A, and this shows that this club is a complete mess. Because I can't wait to hear what Cassius says about this. Because my thing is that this dude literally said the board is garbage. You guys are clueless. You're aimless. You're going nowhere. Oh, and by the way, I actually wanted to leave. So I'm only here because I'm forced to be here. So a guy says he doesn't want to be here. He's only here because he's here under duress and so forth. And you still make him the captain. Sickening.
Bro,
Please continue.
Abidal spoke about this before. He spoke about the attitude of the players before, and then Messi came out with it, if you lot remember. Messi, for me, he's making this club toxic. I'm sick of him and his group of friends, Suarez, Busquets, PK, the old men. They're making the dressing room toxic. They're making it uncomfortable for the other players. Like Messi, when he said in an interview, I wasn't happy with that. When he was like, I disagreed with the signings the club made. I thought we should have bought younger. Well, how do you think that makes Griezmann feel? How do you think that makes Coutinho feel? You can't be saying these sorts of stuff. How can your captain speak so badly against the board in public? Like, he's making the club toxic. They need to deal with him. They need to get him out of this club because he's making the club toxic. So that's my opinions on that. And the last thing I want to say, I said it in the comments. Messi's friends with Suarez, who's a racist. It says a lot about him. Just think about that, people.
Come on.
You need to think about that.
I'd say that's an alternative conversation. That's a very alternative.
It says a lot. It says a lot. If you're friends with Suarez, it says a lot.
We'll get it. So before I come to Stodge, this I have to pull this out here. As much as I didn't want to discuss this, man, from Mohamed Salah, Hazard is self-isolating at McDonald's. You see what has happened to you. You see the kind of jokes that people are making at your expense. Lord in heaven. Stodge, talk to me. Barcelona, Real Madrid. How is this back and forth going to ride for the foreseeable future?
Yeah, it's going to be a back and forth. I don't see either team dominating. I feel like it'll be a back and forth. And maybe 1 year in the next decade or two, another team will win it. But it's definitely, for me, it's not a definite. As for next season, Real Madrid, I like some of their players. They've got Vinicius is very good. Benzema and stuff. Yeah, I mean, he's keeping your boy at the team, isn't he? So he's got to be good. So he's a brilliant player, in my opinion. So they need him to perform if they want to win. I rate Valverde. He's like the Uruguayan Henderson. Very good. Pressing, energy, all that stuff. Yeah.
bro. I mean, I think you rate Henderson a bit too highly, bro.
No. I think you guys rate people with foreign names a bit too highly. I think that's the issue.
I agree with that. I actually agree with that.
This guy, let's keep it real. His ability is similar to Henderson. He's very much an energy player. But because what's his name? Because he's Valverde.
Valverde.
Exactly. Suddenly he's Iniesta when that's not the case. But as for Barcelona, they could win it. I could see them potentially winning it. But in order
but for this decade, do you think it'll be a back and forth? Do you think Real will dominate?
Be 50-50. The reason is Barcelona and Real Madrid are always going to be able to get the best players in the Liga. So let's say next season there's a freak season, Valencia win it. Guarantee you 4 of their players will be picked off by either both Real Madrid and Barcelona. So for another team, it's not even sustainable. So it's going to be both of them. And Barcelona just have too much money to not do it. But for next season, if they are going to win it, it's not going to be the defense. Defense is garbage. It's going to have to be. I think the X factor is going to be Griezmann, in my opinion. If they want it, they need Griezmann to G up. This guy Dembele, he's not very. I mean, at this point he's not check what. he could get disability checks at this point. I mean, the guy's never available. I mean, I haven't seen, how long has he been there? He's been there 3 seasons. In fact, I think this guy's a bad influence in the dressing room. People talk about Messi. Ever since this guy has gone to Barcelona, the dressing room has gone. People have started creating factions. Messi, his amigos. As for Messi keeping the captaincy, I agree with it 100%. Messi should be the captain of Barcelona. And if I was Koeman, I would remain in the. I would still make him the captain of Barcelona because Koeman, it's his fault. Koeman has himself to blame. He overestimated his hype. Bro, the guy's a complete idiot. How do you go to a club, you have no knowledge of the dressing room, and you publicly, in the media, say, this player, I told him, you're fired. He basically called Suarez his best friend and said, you're fired. I mean, what do you think's going to happen? You're disrespecting. I mean, isn't Suarez their third? Isn't he the third highest scorer for Barcelona ever? What are you thinking? What do you think's going to happen? You say Busquets unneeded. You say all these players that Messi has won so many trophies with that he's loyal to are complete and utter garbage. He's thinking there's no loyalty in this club. And obviously he wants out as well. And so now he's got Messi back. Now he's trying as well. He's trying everything now to make Messi happy because of his own mistakes. If you would have just kept your mouth shut, assessed the situation, you would never be like this. But because you thought you were a big talker and that you were a big man after you managed Everton and Southampton. You managed Everton and Southampton and you're moving like you're Guardiola or something.
The Netherlands, man. He revitalized the Netherlands.
Yeah, but it's not enough to be doing stuff like that. So Messi should be the captain. Still, and plus,
we need to stop giving international coaches so much.
I heard my name. Someone said half hope.
In fact, what I was gonna say is you need Messi because basically Messi is his job. If Messi leaves, okay, he's got 2 choices. If he doesn't like Messi, he has to resign or has to keep him captain. Otherwise, you're going to be out your job anyway. So yeah, that's my take. So it's going to be 50-50. No way Real Madrid dominate in the next decade.
All right. Cassius.
So first, I'm gonna talk about what y'all have been saying about the captaincy, and the beauty about this is, I remember the last time we spoke about this, I said I pretty much blamed the board, and the beauty about this is that no matter what you do, you blame the board because everything they do is wrong. HH, you said cowards. That was the first thing you said. Exactly, cowards. Look at this. Bartomeu said he kept Messi in. He held him to his contract. That was I don't know, like a week ago now. Mm-hmm. Bartomeu hasn't said anything about this. That's perfect sign of being a coward. Bartomeu was the one that decided that Vidal, Suarez, Umtiti, these players aren't, they're not needed. But he signs a manager. Okay, Koeman, the first thing you're gonna do, tell Suarez we don't need you. Okay, so he puts all the pressure on a new manager to say, even though it's Bartomeu and the board's idea to get rid of these players, he puts it all on the new manager. So no matter what we say, if people have the opinion that Messi should not be captain, he should be captain. For me, I think I kind of said this last time. I don't really mind, to be honest. You create more problems by taking the captaincy away. But also, if you want to be strict, you certainly have an argument to take the captaincy away. But in the end, they do nothing because these are the same 4 captains that were there last season and the season before. So in the end, exactly like you said, HH, they're just being cowards. So no matter what we do in that debate, the board are the one that look bad. So moving into this season in particular, I certainly think Barcelona can win the league. Barcelona lost the league last season by 5 points, and that was one of Barcelona's worst seasons ever. That's 5 points, and that was an awful season. Multiple people have spoken about the defense, and of course, that's the area we need to improve the most. Busquets is an ex-footballer. He's finished. Semedo is awful. Jordi Alba is awful. I don't really focus on the center backs because, for me, the big problem is the fullbacks. The fullbacks are just awful. I mean, Liverpool, didn't they win the Champions League with Matip? You're telling me Matip is better than PK? No. So for me, it's the big problem is the fullbacks in terms of the team. This
Wait.
summer,
But no, Matip in previous years is a better defender than PK. Now, if you're talking about PK 2009, 2010, different, but PK 2018, 2019, 2020 is an inferior defender to Matip, who is a very underrated defender for Liverpool.
okay, saying that, would you rate Matip as one of the top 10 defenders right now? Top 20, maybe?
No, not really.
Exactly.
Top 10, no. But I would
Yeah,
argue last few years, you could put an argument for Matip being maybe top 15, top 20.
Okay, maybe. So my point is, in just saying that, is that, like you say, the center back, Liverpool won the Champions League with, okay, maybe one of the best defenders in the world, and then a top 15. So if Barcelona can have two of maybe the top 10, that's perfectly fine. So yeah, I don't think the center backs are a problem. For me, the problem is the fullbacks. The attack, we have several. Barcelona have always had good forwards, great forwards even. So
No, but let's just for specific for the question then. This decade, do you see this decade being owned by Real Madrid? Do
No.
you see the back and forth between Barcelona, or do you feel even when Messi leaves, let's just say assume that Messi leaves, you still say Barcelona saying what's up and actually maybe doing better than Real Madrid in this decade? Or do you see maybe Sevilla or Atletico saying what's up?
I think it's going to be like a 50-50. There's no way. I don't think either team dominates. Especially not the way that Barca did last decade.
Okay.
Because, and just going on to Real Madrid last season weren't that good. No one should confuse the things. In Real Madrid standards, this is an average team. Honestly, that's what I think. And all they did to change their team is they replaced James Rodriguez with Odegaard. That's the only change they did to an average team. Hazard, we already see what he's doing. We already see that he's already he's already overweight.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
McDonald's.
People are talking about all the young talent, Vinicius and Rodrigo and Odegaard and Kubo and la. Only 11 players play on the pitch. You can have as many players as you want. Only 11 play on the pitch. It
But
is
there's
an
5
advantage over.
substitution though. There's 5
Of course, yeah,
substitution.
exactly. That's what I was going to say, that over most of the smaller teams, of course, you have a big advantage when you have 5 substitutions and you can bring on 4 forwards, 4 different players. But, over the course of this decade, which is the question, have only 14 players even get on the pitch. So just having 5 players in the same position, it doesn't really make a big difference in my opinion.
All right. I'm Ham. Real Madrid, Barcelona. Who dominates for this decade, man?
Look, I think if we get rid of Messi, I think La Liga is gonna see a lot of rivalries. I think that can start off now until like maybe for 10 years, because we've got De Jong versus Fede Valverde. We've got Vinicius versus the Us, and of course we've got one that comes from the Premier League, Tino versus Zad. You know what I'm saying? But of course, one of them is handicapped at the moment, so we hope he gets better.
Just relax.
So yeah, man, I think, look, with Real Madrid, my problem with Real Madrid is that last season it was grifty, it was hard, it was just a lot of just like dry paint football, and I feel like without them not buying any players just doesn't give me a lot of excitement for what they're gonna do this season.
For Real Madrid.
For Real Madrid, yeah. So I'm looking at Fede, and I hope Odegaard gets a chance to show what he can do for the team. But I think the thing with Zidane is, like, how many babies has Zidane raised? Let's be honest. There's 0. He's basically like Conte in a way. He just uses his players that he's always had. And I'm not confident that he's going to play these players. And I'm not confident he can bring out the best in Vinicius and Rodrigo. So I don't know what to say about that. But on the other side, at Barcelona,
For the questions, just answer. So for the decade, who do you think? Do you think Real Madrid rules? Do you think Barcelona rules? How do you think it's plays out?
for the coming decade,
Yeah.
well, with Real Madrid bringing in Mbappe and Haaland, I mean, if you've got the legendary Super Saiyan there, you've got the prodigy. How could it go wrong? I think the biggest problems for Real Madrid for me is the two right wings, which is Bale and who's the other guy, Vasquez.
Bale is a goal for
I think
Rodrigo.
Rodrigo's much better than the two. Bale and Vasquez are just waste men. So if they get Mbappe and Haaland, I think that gives them a lot of firepower for the entire decade. But with Barcelona, I'm very excited with Barcelona. I think Koeman is a good manager. He was a good manager for Netherlands. I know he did some crap in the Premier League, but what he did for Netherlands,
Do you then see Koeman succeeding then for Barcelona?
I think Koeman can say what's up, and a lot of people just don't understand the fact that Koeman is as much in this political battle as Messi and the board, because everyone is saying Koeman is getting sacked next season. Now, Koeman has to make sure that doesn't happen. That's his job, because this guy paid to get out of the contract with Netherlands, apparently, from his own pocket. So he's ripping his Barcelona colors right now. He's coming there, he's like, I'm gonna save you guys. And you have to give him a hand for the amount of balls that he has, because it's a dumpster fire. But I hope the best for Barcelona, because I like the Us, I like Coutinho, and I think Depay is the best replacement for 2019-2020 Suarez. Not the previous Suarez, but this one they have now. Depay can do all of that, and he can score goals. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So Truder says Messi would be jeered by the fans if he said something like that in Real Madrid. Yeah, I mean,
most definitely. We boo Cristiano Ronaldo just because he was
yeah. Look, if
games
Madrid fans had the cheek to boo Cristiano, then trust me, they would boo Messi. From Nazi said, we wouldn't be talking about Barca's defense if Umtiti didn't play at that World Cup. It's a big shame. Oh, if Umtiti didn't play at that, also, yes, and because he played at the World Cup, he sort of lost his place. Because see, I never really understood the whole thing about Umtiti, because I said like, how I still feel that the guy is a top defender and he was one of the best defenders at the World Cup, but they kept with PK and Longley. They said, oh, PK Longley, but then when it came to it, PK and Longley, those guys bricked it up. Okay, let's just go to some of the questions that we. This was a good question that I think Mr. Just Best and sent. So let's just deal with a few questions there. A few questions. All right. So from what are you doing? What are you doing? Let's see. So Just Beston says, where do you rank Modric all time? So we'll go down the road. So for me, all time Modric, because he says top. So Just Beston says top 10. No, I think I would put Modric top 15, just about top 15, arguably top 20, but he may just sneak into top 15. But no way, heck no, is he in top 15? So, Nan says that Umtiti played with a knee injury. Oh, okay, I think that's probably what messed him up. But again, it was worth it because the guy got a freaking World Cup, man. So yeah, Modric for me, no way he's top 10. I can easily name 10 midfielders that are better than him of all time.
No,
top 15 is arguable. He's probably top 20, but he might just squeeze into top 15 based on just what he did at that World Cup. Wilton, Modric.
Modric is definitely top 5 greatest of all time. Like
Wilton, you're smoking.
Nah.
Oh my lord.
Okay. All right. He's definitely top 15, like you said. He's definitely top 15 for sure. What this guy did for Croatia at the World Cup, Christina and Messi are not doing that. And yeah, like he won the Ballon d'Or against all the odds, which he deserved it. And yeah, Modric is definitely top 15. He's definitely top 10 greatest midfielder of all time. If you guys think I'm crazy, I rate Modric high a lot, man. Like this
Okay.
guy is amazing, man.
All right, Jamal Modric.
Yeah, bro, I'm in my 20s, so I'm not gonna say of all time. I'm just gonna say of his generation, and of his generation, he's top 5.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So okay then. So who would your 5 be of this generation?
All right, I'll say Xavi, Pirlo, Iniesta, Modric.
Few. I thought you were about to say Gerrard. I
No,
thought you were
no,
going to
no,
say
no,
Gerrard.
no. No, I'm a sensible Liverpool fan, but Gerrard is top 5.
Thank you.
He's top 5.
That's why I like it. That's why I like it. Erhan, Modric, where do you rank him?
Yeah, I'm similar with Bilton. I'm a bit biased towards him, obviously, because he's an ex-Tottenham boy. Grew up watching Bale, Modric, Van der Vaart. That was like under Harry Redknapp. That was like our best.
No. He was good. That he was.
Wait, and what did you win them those days? Did you win anything?
We got top 4 back then. That was a trophy for us. Listen, don't get on me, man. We're trash. I know it. We're trash. Just leave me alone. But yeah. I mean, for me personally, like he was my favorite midfielder and probably the best midfielder I had seen in the Premier League up to that point. If we, obviously account for everyone else, I'd say top 15 for sure. I really do think like there is a shout for him to be top 10. I think he might just miss out on it because there's some phenomenal midfielders, but the guy is like such a midfield enforcer, man. I've never seen anyone be so graceful in the pitch. It's like he's what people think Thiago is, in my opinion, anyways. Like as in he's a multifaceted midfielder where he can literally do everything, and whoever he partners, he makes them better. Like look at Cruz. Cruz looks like absolutely world class, under him in the the CR3P run. So yeah, I think top 15 for sure. Top 10 is debatable, and in this generation, top 5 for sure.
Okay. What's it called? Nomad, Modric. Where do you rank him all time?
Top 15, I would say. But he has a wasn't Platini a midfielder?
Who?
Platini.
Platini. Oh yeah. Yeah. So where would you rank it? Did you put in top 5, top 10, top 15, top 20 all time?
All time, I think 15 and top 5 of the current generation because he has a Ballon d'Or. You can never forget that he has the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, but Ballon d'Or doesn't mean anything. That's voted on by people. It's about what's his impact. So top 15, top 20, where?
Well, his impact for this country has been much more than Gerrard, Lampard, Scholes, Beckham for their countries. So, yeah, I think top 5 current generation, top 15 all time. Actually, is a top 20, I would say, but just because of his Ballon d'Or, I'll say top 15.
Okay, Stodge.
Are you talking about all players, all time?
No. All time midfielders. For midfielders, all time.
It's like top 30. In
Top
players,
10.
when it comes to all-time players, this guy.
No. Midfielders.
Yeah, top 30. And I think some people. I'm just going to say for players, he definitely doesn't crack the top 50 for me. I'm not sure because Henry on my list is 98. I have a list. Let me just go through who's. Let me just go through.
Is Neymar higher than Modric on that list? Is Neymar higher than Modric on that list?
Is Salah higher than me?
No, Salah doesn't make the list. Salah's not even in 200. So let's get it real. Okay, let me just tell you some of the names that he has to surpass in my 50. Michael Laudrup, Revellino, Xavi. I mean that's just cracking it. Those are the ones that just crack it. HH. I think people disrespect the amount of great players there have been that basically won every trophy, individual award, and they seem to forget this guy. For me, he's nowhere near top 50. Henry is nowhere near top 50. That's how many great players there've been, but people just forget. So for me,
relax, bro.
He's nowhere near. Bro, he's not even.
Is Neymar top 50? Is Neymar top 50?
Not even top. Okay, let me ask you something. What's your name? Vilton, right? Can you honestly say he's top 15 in the players that played for Real Madrid? All the players you had, is he
for Real Madrid? Yes, because
No.
during the Galactical era,
exactly?
let's be real,
When you actually start calculating it, you see how sometimes you overrate certain players. He's not top 15 for Real Madrid.
No, because during the Galactical era, R9 they didn't really show up. Like the Galactical didn't really show up like as we thought they should have showed up.
Modric is arguably top 10 of Real Madrid's best ever players. Because
No.
Because he's critical in one of because Real Madrid's most successful periods is the Di Stefano era and this era, in terms of their biggest success in Europe.
I'm not talking about in terms of success with the club
right now.
I'm not on about success with the club. I'm talking about actually being in the greatest. Like if you were to compile a list of greatest players throughout their career, not just at Real Madrid, would he crack the top 15 that played for Real Madrid? Would he even crack the top 20 that have played just for that single Real Madrid? He would. I mean, this dude. I mean, the way you guys are describing is very overrated, in my opinion. He's nowhere near top 50. Like I said, Lodrup just cracks top 50. The Revellino just cracks top 50. These are the type of ballers we're on about. Not Modric. He's a good system player. He's a good role player, but no, he's not on these. For me, Modric has never been. Okay, let's put it like this. I think people need to start putting football into categories. There are footballers that are the stars of the team. They're critical. And then there's role players. And I think we need to forget about the trophies. I think we need to start putting the role players in particular categories because there's too many role players that are getting, especially in this generation, too much hype.
Okay, Storch, does this have anything to do with Modric's clinic that he put against your club in the second half of the 2018 World Cup, where nobody could get close to Modric for that whole half?
Okay, we're on about people's careers. This is people's careers. So what's your points?
What did Rivellino do for his clubs?
Okay. Look, Storch, that's your point. That's your view. That's your view. Ban Fan TV, Modric, where do you rank him all time?
As a midfielder, top 6.
All time?
And
oh my lord.
And I'll tell you why. That's just my general philosophy of football. Players nowadays are better than players have ever been. Tactically, they're better, and they're just better, well drilled. And if I'm trying to think of like midfielders that I could, I'm just trying to think of like midfielders that I think are better than him. And the only ones that I can say, at least in my opinion, from what I've seen, of course, I've not seen everyone, but from what I've seen, the only ones that I can say definitively is Zidane, Iniesta, Xavi, and Lothar Matthäus. Those are the only ones that I can say. Yes.
Oh my.
Yes. I'm saying that definitively. You look at what Modric has won, and he's been the pivotal key of that Madrid side. Without him, Madrid is not winning all those Champions Leagues. Pirlo wanted to be he can say oh my as much as you want. It's facts. Without him, Madrid is not winning.
Wait, is he winning it without Ronaldo though?
Oh my lord.
No.
For Pirlo,
without Ronaldo, he's not winning either.
Listen, tell me a game where he played, where he was the worst player for Madrid, or where he was such a bad player that Madrid lost because of him. The only time I think that he had a poor performance was against Schalke, and I think it was 2014. Besides that, he's always been consistently great. And that's for me the big difference between someone like him and someone, say, like Ronaldinho, who has peaks but isn't consistent enough to be there for me.
So so Ban Fan TV, you're really telling me that Modric is a better and greater midfielder than Andrea Pirlo? You're really saying that?
Yeah.
Yes. On my chest. 100%.
Well, no.
Pirlo had a different name.
Pirlo has a World Cup. Pirlo has a
if he
World
was
Cup.
called Henderson or Miller or Robertson, you wouldn't be rating him that high.
What is going on?
Pirlo has a World Cup in the Champions League. I'm not gonna put Pirlo. I'm
trying to figure out how did you watch Mateus, but you skip through like a whole generation of midfielders, but you watch Mateus.
Oh my! What do you mean? I've skipped through a whole generation. I'm talking about the best.
But Modric is definitely top 10 greatest player of all time for Real Madrid. He's definitely
the ones
top 10
I've
for Real
watched.
Madrid. I'm
I'm
sorry.
sure
He has
Mateus
to be on that
played
list.
in the 80s, didn't he?
HH?
No,
HH?
90.
80s and 90s.
Late 90s.
Yo, HH.
Okay.
Yes, what? Yes.
HH? Yeah, if you keep aside the long ball accuracy and long ball pass completion, I am a better midfielder than Andre Pirlo. I don't even
Oh, my goodness.
Break.
Look, man, I do rate Pirlo. I just don't think I don't think he's as great as people rate, because I think he just had that elegance and class around him.
I think
about
that
him
World Cup,
people
that 06 World
rate him
Cup,
so
I think
highly.
that 06 World Cup, that's why people elevated him so really highly. Don't get me wrong, Pirlo's a world top, definitely greatest midfielder of all time, but you could argue. I'm not saying Modric is better than Pirlo, but you could make an argument that Modric is better than him.
Let me just, Nomad, you are gonna have to rest in backstage.
Modric
Right?
never bottled up
What
a
you
Champions
just
League
said
final, man.
has
Modric
to
never
rank
bottled
among
up a Champions League final.
disrespectful, disgusting, filthiest things I've ever heard in all my years doing this hangout, and you should feel ashamed of yourself for that crap.
No.
So Nat says that Sturge uses a lot of crack.
Yes, he does. He does.
He might just be on crack, to be honest. I don't think
No,
Sturge
you
is.
guys don't know.
I don't think Sturge is a drug user. Yes, I said all I'm going to say about Modric is Croatia. Now, Syed, are you saying that in terms of, hey, look at what he did for Croatia, look at how he helped them, which is all good and great, but we're looking at player against player. Player v player, Modric isn't sniffing Andrea Pirlo, because Andrea Pirlo is one of the greatest midfielders of all time. And you have to be a psychopath to think that Modric, the one is great, Modric better than no. From Newski, it's hard for me to think Modric gets into the top 10 for midfielders in Madrid alone. He can't compare to Redondo, Guti, Seedorf.
See, but those players didn't have the consistency Modric has though for Real Madrid.
What consistency is key? Like Zidane had a high peak, but he didn't have the consistency.
Zidane was consistent for us. He was consistent. He scored that beautiful goal.
See, Redondo and Guti were really talented and did some amazing things. But in terms of just being critical, Redondo and Guti were not critical and key for Real Madrid in the way that Modric was. Modric was, especially for the three UCLs, Modric was vital to the functioning of that team and was very important to how that team functioned. Does it mean he's sniffing Pirlo? But people need to put some respect on Modric's name. Alex one says that Modric is Madrid's best midfielder ever. Alex,
that's Zidane. That's Zidane. I'm sorry. That's Zidane, man. That's Zidane.
So you know a guy called Zidane. I think he's this French dude. Yeah, he played for Real Madrid. Anyone says otherwise doesn't watch us. In terms of accomplishments, consistent performances, you see, you have to now. Again, you have to qualify. If you're saying the best, are we talking about ability, quality, what you did, or are you talking about consistency? And accomplishments is relative, because that is relative to the team you were at. The Galacticos were not a very good team. They had amazing players, but not a good team. This Real Madrid guys, man for man, may not be as good as the Galacticos, but they were just a better team and functioned a lot better. You know, so it's. I mean, okay. I am Ham. Where do you rate Modric?
You see, the one thing I don't like in football is when people like they see a year's accomplishments as just like that year's accomplishments. They don't look at like how did it get to there. You know what I mean? Like Modric is a top player. Like he's amazing. I'm not gonna lie, he's amazing. As a Liverpool fan, I think I saw Modric beat Liverpool 4-0. I think it was 2009 or maybe it was 2010. But like the guy was amazing. And like, but for what this guy said that he's the best he's seen in the Premier League when he was there, dude, come on. Modric, first of all, he was getting benched when Uncle Mo was there. He couldn't find a spot, you know. And then when finally he grew into his position under who was it? It's Ancelotti. He did start finally showing the promise he showed when he was still playing at Tottenham. But here's the thing for me: the guys that broke the decimal were the real guys that did the most for Real Madrid. Xabi Alonso, those
He
players.
didn't even play in the final.
Okay, yeah, but he was the
Xabi
most
Alonso.
important midfielder in
He
that
was.
season.
I'm just saying that Modric
Yeah,
was on that
so
took the corner kick though. So Modric got the
Modric
assist for Ramos. So
get benched by Khedira. Last Lassana Diarra in 2012 when Mourinho needed a midfielder was playing over Modric. So please, let's not forget that, okay? Like Modric is a very good player, but come on, Pirlo
I
literally
didn't
his
say that.
career
I didn't
would
say
be
that.
so much better
I didn't say
if he
he's
played for
better than Pirlo. I didn't say that.
like
Yes, you did.
your international career is based so much by luck because you need all of these other guys to be as talented as you are when you are playing for your country. And like every time Italy played back then, Pirlo used to just stand out. It didn't matter when it was like Italy went down after the 2006 World Cup. And in the 2012 World Cup, Euro, they just made a mess of themselves. But one player stood out in that match. It was Pirlo. So I feel like when you put national teams into the mix, like it's so hard. Yes, he got to the final in 2018, but come on, that 2018 World Cup was crap. Let's be honest.
What?
That 2018 World Cup was crap, guys. I'm sorry. England, that team that got into the semi-final in England, does not even come close to the Gerrard teams and the Rooney's and stuff like that.
Yeah, but
Even though that
they didn't do anything they underachieved.
Exactly. That does
Yeah,
not
just
affect
because
how
you
good
have a
they are.
superstar team, that doesn't mean you're gonna win the entire tournament.
No,
Exactly. It's all nostalgia.
Wait, so from a Roy, in terms of actual ability,
yeah.
What
Can I
ability?
speak?
Like what type of ability? Is it like passing vision?
Wait,
Passing
Modric
vision,
is
yes,
by
that's
far
that.
better than Pirlo, Xavi, and Iniesta.
Nah.
You got me until you said
No,
Iniesta.
these lot don't know football. These lot
No.
really don't know football.
No. Xavi and Iniesta
guy needs a
visions.
scan.
Xavi and Iniesta, those guys. Without those guys, Barca are not sniffing Champions League without those two guys in the midfield.
You lot really don't know football.
Iniesta has a shot for being the
And
best midfielder of all
Zidane,
time.
Zidane, what this guy did in 06 with France, like that was ridiculous, man. That was ridiculous.
Like
do people
if you're talking about
people
old time
But
really
Pill,
think that's
see,
possible?
Modric is not better than Pillow. I'm not gonna say that. I'm just saying you could make an argument if you want. You could make an argument that says
He's
he's
more.
better.
He's
than
more.
Pirlo.
He's
You
more.
haven't been educating your viewers properly. This is your fault. You haven't been educating your viewers, man. These are your viewers, man.
If you have people
No,
realize that
ability wise, he's not better than
You
Xavi
see,
and Iniesta. I don't
maybe
think
you're right. Maybe you're right because I would have thought that people who have been listening to my analysis and everything and the understanding of the game and the discipline specifically of central midfield would never ever come out with such this is complete and utter nonsense. This is this is total brainless nonsense. Modric, I have all the respect for Modric in the world, 100%. Modric is not in the same class as Pirlo, Xavi, or Iniesta. Xavi was literally the center of a flipping system. Pirlo, as Amham was even alluding to, I don't think I've ever seen a midfielder stand out more than Pirlo in how he would just take over an entire game and control an entire game. Modric can't do that. And also remember, Pirlo is doing this for both Italy, some very underrated Italy sides that weren't really doing much, and also doing it for Milan events, but specifically Italy sides that were going in as underdogs. In 06, nobody was talking about Italy. And Modric has never in his entire life made a pass like Pirlo made in a 06 semi to Grosso, which for me is the greatest pass through ball of all time in terms of clutch.
Stop it.
And also, don't bring a horseman into this. Don't. You see, I mean, Unless
don't bring
that's
Zidane
you
into
cannot
this,
honestly
man.
believe this garbage.
Come on, man. Zidane is top 5 of all time. Come on, man.
Okay, so
Don't do this.
yes,
I need
you
to
need
address
your refresh.
Can I continue though? Like, yo, you didn't let me land. Like when you're talking about midfielders though, you need like the whole entire package in a midfielder. I think like to be the top. I don't think like what you do for your club tells who's the best midfielder, because when you're that best midfielder, you need to be able to, whatever team you put into, you will be able to fit that team and do like damage as a midfielder, in my opinion. So like I feel like Modric in a way is too much of a system player for me. Like he did well under the from the Ancelotti to Zidane system, but as soon as Ronaldo left, we saw what happened. And I know people always act like that didn't happen. Modric in that season was despicable. Him and Kroos did nothing the whole season. Nothing. And I know people blame Lopetegui and Solari, but it's no way. If you're talking about the top 5 best midfielder,
Wait, guys, we're talking about Pirlo. We're talking about Pirlo. Guys, see, do you know what I think the issue is? This is what I think the issue is. The issue is people are just looking at the 3 UCLs. So, hey,
yeah,
Modric was there. 3 UCLs. Oh, he must be amazing. No. Let's look at him as a player and as a midfielder. I have all the respect for Modric in the world, but Modric lends very heavily on Casemiro and Toni Kroos. He lent very, so it was more. It was more of a unit. It was more of a unit of that midfield, and even for Croatia, it was a 1-2 punch of him and Rakitic. Pirlo, singly one man, controlled that entire game by himself as a midfielder. He wasn't leaning on anyone. De Rossi wasn't doing anything to assist Pirlo. Pirlo was, look, I am handling the entirety of controlling this game as a midfielder. Guys, are we going to now say Toni Kroos is a brick midfielder? The guy's are going to be one of the most accurate passers in the world.
Yeah, I don't think he ever had a bad game in his career too, where passing is bad.
He's had plenty. He had a bad game.
Guys, you need to just put. See, there are levels. There are different categories that are in here. Modric is very high, but Modric is not. See, we're not talking about Zidane, Xavi. You won't even look at Laudrup, Pirlo. That's a different class. That's a wholly different class. And this Modric just not entering into that class. Not entering into that class. I'm sorry, he's not.
All right, let me ask one question. You put Pirlo in his prime in that Real Madrid team. Are they winning as many Champions League as they had in the past couple of years?
Yes. Okay, you put Modric in that 06. Okay, we can do the same. See, don't use that argument. Don't use that argument.
Why wouldn't they?
Because Pirlo not as defensively or offensively.
What?
Okay, let me ask you this question. You put
let's answer the question. So, Ban Fancy, if you say Pirlo in it, so this is the Pirlo at his best. So why wouldn't they win those Champions League? Pirlo at his best at Real Madrid. What logic are you using?
All right, first of all, it's his movement. That's the big part, right? In terms of passing, I can't say that there's much of a distinction between those two. I think Modric and Pirlo are at the same caliber.
No, they're not.
But
they're not. Pirlo is a much better passer than Modric. That's a fact.
Modric's an average.
I very much disagree with that.
Modric can't do the kind of passes that Pirlo can do.
If you put Modric in that 06 Italy team, does Italy win the World Cup?
They don't make it out the group stages.
Oh, come on. You lot are being nostalgia merchant. Like if you put Pirlo in his prime in today's game, the same way that he played back then in today's game, he wouldn't look as special as he did back then, because football is constantly evolving. Tactics are constantly evolving. Players are constantly evolving.
This is where you feel is that quality is quality. If you're intelligent and you understand the game, it doesn't matter where the game is at, quality will always rise to the top. Because Pirlo will know how to adapt and adjust his game to know that as soon as the ball gets to me, I am making a decision as to what pass I'm going to make before. So you can press, gegenpress, all this cool stuff. A quality player is a quality player in any era, because a quality player knows how to readjust, and a smart player knows how to understand the context of the game and knows what they need to do to adjust and tweak the game to be effective. Those are what great players can do. So you say, oh, Pirlo in this era wouldn't. What? You see, because you're young. That's what I'm saying. When you're young, you don't really understand the deep stuff. So when you're young, you're very much about recency bias. Oh my gosh, you see us kind of stuff. But if you really studied the things, you have to have respect for great players, because great players know what to do. Maradona in this era would be amazing. He'd be amazing because Maradona is a great player who know, oh my gosh, this is something that changed. I will tweak my
HH.
Maradona in this era.
What about
You remember
Sir Bobby Linton? Is Sir Bobby Linton better than Pirlo?
Wait. I'd just like to say something. This is the reason why I called Modric a kind of system player. Look at the players he had with the three-peat and then compare it to Pirlo. You're talking about prime Bale, prime Benzema, prime Ronaldo, prime Cruz, prime Casemiro, prime Ramos, prime Varane, prime Marcelo. And this is what I mean. Players can just be in a very great team and suddenly people are shouting top 10. How is this fair? If somebody achieves everything with a team that's not that great and then somebody's
just like Salah, right? Just like Salah.
Yeah. Well, you say everyone in this was a shit player, so I don't know. That's coming.
So now you're blaming Modric for being in a good team.
I'm saying
now you're blaming. Yeah, you kind of blaming Modric.
I'm saying there are players that have won Ballon d'Ors that have achieved more, and they haven't had stacked teams in when it comes to midfielders. But this guy that's surrounded by at least, in my opinion, 7 players that are better than him.
No.
Modric proved he could not handle it by himself, guys. Stop making excuses. What did he do in 2018?
Dude, what did you want him to do? Is Modric a goal scorer? He passed the ball to Benzema. Benzema doesn't score. Is that his fault?
Can I say something quick?
What did you want Modric to do in that season?
To me. One at a time. Okay, I'm going to go to eye test. Go for it.
So, first of all, I just want to say, I want to advertise my thing. Viewers, if you want to end up like the people on this Hangout, come to me. I supply you with the best stuff. The best stuff. Look at Bayern fan, for example. If you want to end up as high as him, come to me, bro. But anyway, so, I'm hearing top 5 ever. Are you lot mad? He's not even top 5 now. Paul Pogba's better than him.
Relax.
Verratti's better than him. Verratti's better than him.
Relax.
He's not even top 5 now. How can he be top 5 of all time? I bet if you give me a pen and paper, I bet you I could name you 50 players right now that are better than him.
Thank you.
If you sat me down, I could name you 50, maybe even 70.
You are overrated these foreign players just because they have foreign names. Thiago, Verratti.
It's Modric, not foreign. What are you talking about?
Verratti.
Listen, Bayern fan. I'm gonna stop supplying you with these stuff because it looks like it's hurting you. It's messing with you too much.
Verratti's overrated, bro. Verratti's overrated.
Easy, man. Relax. Chill his eye.
It looks like my stuff is too strong for you. My stuff is too strong. I'm gonna stop supplying you, bro.
Wait. I'm going to get to what's up from side says Luka Modric is basically.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
You see, my stuff is too strong, bro. Yasir Saeed is another customer. He's another customer, bro.
See, Modric doesn't have the passing vision that Xavi and Iniesta have. I'm sorry. I love Modric, but you don't have that passing IQ that Iniesta and Xavi have. Like,
Modric is
just
a worse
it doesn't make sense.
He's like a worse version of Iniesta.
He's high.
HH, can I ask you a question? Which team is better, the 2010 Spain or the Barcelona side? 2009 Barcelona.
The 209 Barcelona.
No, you've got to go to easily 209 Barcelona because
209. Messi was in his.
I mean, what's it called? Messi, Etso, and
HH. You remember that 2010 side was carrying a limp Torres.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they were 10 men against 11 teams.
That 2010 side needed extra time, second half extra time, to beat a 10-man Holland side. And
That's because they were mid.
But it was
for
10-10 then.
assists,
It was 10-10.
fluky saves.
They were passing
Robin was
merchant.
twice.
They were passing merchant. That Spain team was so toxic to watch, man. Pass,
No, no,
pass,
HH.
pass,
it's like
pass.
no.
That
See,
Dutch
the real,
team was stacked though.
no,
They didn't
Spain's
have a
That
striker,
Dutch
so I
team
don't blame
was
them.
dangerous.
Spain's best team. Spain's best team was 2012.
They didn't
That
have a
was
striker, so I
No
don't blame them.
ways, no ways, no way, no way, no way. Nah.
2012, because that's when David Silva was in the seat.
Yeah,
That side, I'm sorry, I don't rate that side highly. I just don't. I don't.
Bro, they beat Italy 4-0 in the final without a striker. The 2012 side.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to say? Okay, wait. Let me just read what side says. Let me just read what he says. Look, Modric is basically Xavi and Iniesta fused together. I not need both Xavi and Iniesta if I have Modric. Modric broke the laws of football.
2018, bro. 2018. Tell me about 2018. Xavi and Iniesta were doing it. What did this guy do in 2018? Please explain.
World Cup. Did you watch the World Cup? I am. Did you watch the World Cup?
So he
Hazard
came
was the best
second.
player at the World Cup. I
So
don't
he
know
came
why they gave
second.
it to Modric.
It's
Even
like
I
you
think
guys are
Olo
saying
Kante was
Karius
better
is
than
good
him as
because he
well.
went to a final in the Champions League.
No. Did you watch the World Cup? You said what Madrid did in 2018. I'm saying, did you watch the World Cup?
Yeah,
Did you
I
watch
did.
this guy? What this guy
What
did?
did he do for his team, though? Don't tell me about. I already said like national teams about luck more than anything. But what he did in the World Cup was good. Okay, I'm not gonna know it. It's not like what he did in the World Cup. Okay,
No,
but
okay, wait. Okay. Let's round off with this. I want to round off with this. All I want is one name, and then we're gonna get out of here. And now, you know what? I'll bring Nomad back, man. I'll bring you back, man. After that trash that you said. So this is only one. It's just a one word answer. That's it. Who, for you, is the best midfielder you've ever seen? That's it. Just in terms of not the best player, not the most skillful best footballer, in terms of central midfielder, who is the best central midfielder you've ever seen? I'll give you time to think. Who's the best central midfielder in terms of controlling the game, passing, creativity, and being able to maintain the tempo of the game as a central midfielder role?
Like that I've
Well,
seen, or overall? Like
overall,
I've seen.
of what, remember, this is the key thing, what you've seen.
Okay.
So not a player in the past, player that you have seen extensively in your lifetime, who you would say is the best midfielder you've ever seen. Even guys in live chat, you can also say yours as well. Best midfielder in your lifetime you've seen. For me, it's Andrea Pirlo. Science says Modric had a better World Cup in 2018 than Zidane in 2006. Facts, Horseman. Said, do you want to sleep do you want a wing? I told you we have funds. Do you want a wing? Please tell me. So Newski says that something football has improved based on speed. Coaches didn't high press because midfielders like Riquelme, JJ, Ricosta, Haji would dribble with minimal movements. Hard to find two-man midfield now because of quality. Yeah, no. Look, as I said again, amazing players are amazing players. Like, for me, you bring in a guy like a Riquelme or a Ricosta. See, we don't have as many quality individuals now in the game as we used to be. I told you, back in the 90s and early 2000s, you had about 10, 15, 20 players who were amazing players. I can't name you 15, 20 players who, like, these guys can dribble, these guys are dynamic, and these guys can do amazing things. I told you, you had JJ Kochas, Riquelme, you had Batistutas, you had Ariel Ortegas, you had all Torres and all these kinds of dudes all spread along all these teams, and these were like amazing players. You don't have that now. So this whole notion that, the speed of the game on bro, if a guy is good enough, he'll beat the press. Come towards me, I'll go past you, and just move the ball over the top, because we lack enough. We don't have enough individuals of the quality of like a Riquelme, JJ Kocha, Ricosta, Haji, who have the dribbling skill and mentality to beat the press. It is what it is. The quality in there. All right.
Can I respond to that?
Go for it, Jamal.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say I feel social media causes that too, because I feel if Eden Hazard was playing when Zidane was playing, I feel he would have been one of the best. But social media and seeing that how you're not consistent and all, because guys, I think if Zidane was playing in this era, he would not be as good as he was, because he was not consistent. If we being real, guys, he stand up in the big moments, but against a normal Malaga, he was not consistent. What do you have to say to that?
For me, I still say that he was such a quality player that in the critical games, which are the games that we remember, so maybe he may not be as consistent, but in the games that mattered, he would put forth amazing performances. It's almost like the Drogba argument. Drogba, consistency was there, but during the biggest games, he always showed up. And my thing about it is that for me, I will always take. It's like that question that someone asked me, I think, a few days ago. That would you take a consistent player who always chokes in big games, or an inconsistent player who always shows up and is clutch in big games? I will always take the latter, because for me, I'm like, let's just get him to this area here, and big player show up for me. What's the point in getting me in a big game and you don't show up? So that's the thing. So I just think that for Zidane. Wait. Let's just do so. So after my name is, I think it's Pirlo. Best midfielder I've seen in my generation. Wilton, what's it for you?
Man, I didn't get to see really Zidane like in his peak, but mine has to be Iniesta.
Okay, Jamal.
Iniesta or Xavi Alonso?
Choose one.
Iniesta.
All right, I'm Ham.
Well, there's one, but there's three first I want to say just as a.
No.
Number one.
Okay. If you say it, all I want is one. Just choose one.
Yeah, Torre, amazing, and Xabi Alonso. I think wow. But guys, Pirlo, Pirlo. Like I think from like 2012 until 2014, we're just scoring free kicks for fun at Juventus. Like this guy was just amazing, and I don't know what you guys are talking about. Pirlo for sure.
So which is the midfielder the best midfielder you've seen in your lifetime then?
It's Pirlo for sure, but a special mention to Gerrard, Torre,
it's Pirlo.
And Alonso.
It's Pirlo, thank you. Bam Fan TV, best midfielder you've seen in your lifetime.
Well, it's definitely not the fraud Pirlo. It's Iniesta.
Okay. Stodge.
Xavi.
Cassius.
I would say Iniesta. I think Zidane is like a playmaker. Zidane overall is a better player, but I would say Iniesta for central midfield.
Okay. Eye test.
One name, Bobby Charlton.
Numa, can you please just give your name so we can get the hell out of here, man? Numa, can you please give your name so we can leave? Nomad, can you give me your mother effing midfielder that's so we can get out of this hangout?
Yeah,
He said
actually, I would
Charlton
like
as
to
well.
second him. It's Bobby Charlton, yeah.
Guys, thank you for tuning in to the Hangouts. Please like the video and so forth. And please, I apologize for any trash analysis that has been spouted for some morons on the panel here. Hopefully, we'll see you tomorrow if I can recover from this trash that I've just hit. Peace out.
Junior's overrated, guys.
2 legs in the Champions League without the away goal rule.
Bobby Charlton is the GOAT. He's the GOAT.
Man,
Bobby Charlton.